Blades in my hand, got the world in a spin. Javon's knife flicks, let the show begin. Every move sharp like the edge I hold. Stories untold, sharper than gold. Flick life, twist life, every frame tight. Knives on the screen, cutting through the night. Subscribers piling up like stacks on stacks. Javon's in the zone, ain't no turning back. Clicks and views, yeah, they fly like sparks. Knives in the dark, carving it. Yeah. You files in the word. What a wait. Late night creeps where the shadows grin. Juvons in the cut, let the games begin. With a flick of the blade, we dive in the sin. It's a marathon groove, not a race to win. The clock don't sleep, the knives don't pause. Chasing thrills, no time for applause. The world spins mad on Juvon's claws, where the edge cuts deep in the night's great jaws. Sit and spin under the neon glow. Wide awake where the insomniacs go. Feel the steel flash, let the adrenaline flow. Juvon's night flicks, it's the live late show. It's the live late show. Right. It's the live late show. We're too sharp to dull, too fast to catch. Each blade is the spark making midnight hatch. In the zone we own on this Twitch dispatch, where the world sits still but the vibes still match. Time's a blur in the sleepless den. Every move's a twist, that slice in the zen. Juvon's got the rhythm, the pulse of man, locked in the spin.
Well, music lovers, when you've made as many comebacks as Gary Glitter, isn't it nice to know you can always come back to the great taste of Heinz lentil soup? Not off. Heinz soup. It's the taste people hungry.
This is crack. Rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool, but doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Don't do it, guys. Crack is whack. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Insomniac's Sit and Spin on a Tuesday night with nothing major going on. Say hey to everybody. People sharing links. I love it. What is up, Greg? Blade Walker. Let's find that. Hey, Colby, you in here? Drop a link, buddy. Oh, there it is. There's the link. Ron dropped it. Thanks, Ron. Let me try to get over here and open it up. Boom. I'm subscribed. Here goes, guys. I'm going to share this. Everybody run over there. Click that link and sub to Brother Blade Walker. He is at, whoops. Share it again. Shared the wrong screen when I was searching for it. Currently at 654. Let's all jump over there and sub to him. Thanks, Ron, for sharing that. I'll keep it up. Addicted to Blades too. What is going on, brother? Ryan Ellis, what is up? Good to see you, man. Channel member. Who else we got in here? We got Space Ghost, channel members in the house. Good evening, brother. Ed is in the house. Good evening, my friend, channel member. Welcome. Paul Mills is in the house. Channel member, what is up? Guys, I'm leaving Blade Walker up there. Very Good Knife Company. What is up, Jacob? Good to see you, man. Some of the finest fixed blades in the world right there. Very Good Knife Company. If y'all haven't checked them out, we will check them out here shortly. I was not snoozing, just watching, kind of creeping through one of his finishing videos today. And it looks like some hawks are getting ready to come out. Kathleen Smith, channel member, what is up, girl? Good to see you. Welcome. So y'all go sub to No Bull Reviews. I'll put that back up here in a second. I'm going to pull up. Ooh, the Eagles dropping 425. The Hawk. Go back to that. Ooh, the Hawk. Yep. Eagle and the Hawk. Let's see. Guys, these grinds are so sick and so well done. And the cool thing is you can watch every process from sheath to rough and cutting it out to finishing it all on the YouTube. I've got a review of that knife on the channel. If you guys are interested, it is a killer tall flat grind. Let's see if I'm missing something here. The Falcon, I've got a review of that on the channel. All thanks to my buddy A to Z EDC, who's picked up, I think, 4 of these knives now. A Tradition and a Tradition Junior. But I'm looking, is there an Eagle? Or is the Eagle just the type of hawks you're doing? I'm guessing they're the type of handles you're doing. But I could be wrong. Tito Ben-Hur, what is up, brother? Good to see you, man. Welcome. Adventure 50, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Henry G's in the house. Welcome. Guys, thanks for sticking around, hanging out a little bit late. We'll look at some knives. I've got a few pretty cool ones out to show you that haven't been seen yet, and a couple that have. This one is getting ready to go through a transformation. This one is getting ready to get AWT scales and skiff bearings. I've got a video where I put skiffs in my MSI or my stitch. This is a little bit different. I'm not as big of a fan. I think it's because of these FRN scales. We'll see how it does when I pop these other scales on it. But that's a big knife. And then I think the best pound for pound knife is the CJRB Pyrite Light. Last time I checked, it was under $40. It is super thin and slicey. Got really good action. Really nice FRN that you can't really bend like a bug out. No offense, bug out. Great little blade. Super slicey, super ergonomic, super light in the pocket. I have Ryan Ellis to thank for sending this out. I've had one of these before, gave it away to you guys, and then I've had probably 3 other pyrites. I think it's a good knife, and I think that light's probably the best pound for pound champion. Dude, you keep grinding, buddy. You're doing cool stuff, very cool stuff. Hey, Richard, what is going on, buddy? I would have gotten back to your text, but I've got My phone's upside down now, filming this stuff badly. But the good news is when I hold something up, like 1931 Leatherworks, little sheath on my Aries EDC pedal, you can get a better look than if I try to hold it under the green light. I don't know, I just moved. That was kind of odd. Just jumped around. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Ooh, so the Eagle is a new model. Guys, I'm going to drop this in the chat. This is not the homepage. This is just a link to all the models. Go back to the homepage. You can see stuff. We'll also get on Instagram. We need to be over there anyway. That's where a lot of these guys post their latest stuff. And we might have a couple of guests stop by tonight. We will see. Here is new design. Sweet, dude. Was that big one you were showing? Is it a bigger knife? Or am I thinking of something different? I like some of your big beefy knives. Even though I don't carry big beefy knives often, I can appreciate a big beefy knife. I can, like, in fantasy camp, see myself using it. Yes, 13-incher. Wow. Nice. Very, very nice. I've got a few fixies up here. This is one that Richard Hopkins sent me. That was a Kickstarter from Kaiser called the Buddy. And this is the Dalmatian Buddy. On their Kickstarter page, it says inspired by loyalty. It reminds me of a Tops 3-pointer a little bit, but this is VG10. They offer it in about 4 different steels, 3V, S35, and AEBL, I think. I don't know where they're going to offer it or what they're going to offer it for, because this was part of a Kickstarter, but it's a very cool little knife. A little short review coming out on it tomorrow. It's a little longer. What's up, Ron Ellis? Good to see you, buddy. I was just showing off your pyrite light. I'm still a huge fan in these drop bear fixed blades. There are 3 different blade styles on this. And if you like a really small fixed blade and you're not sure and you just want to try one out, this one you can get into for $50 if you go D2, 53, 54. You go AEBL, and I think you can go 14C. So those are good ones to check out. I was very surprised with the size of it. It is only right at about 6 1/8. The only thing a little janky about it, and it's not janky, but it's got a little tweezer and a little toothpick stored in the handle. Kind of like, I think of Swiss Army knives. I don't think I'll ever pull them out, but you never know. The tweezers might come in handy. Who knows? Be Shady, what is up, channel member? Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody on a Tuesday night. Hanging out. I've got, I think I showed this off Friday night. And I have not watched the podcast that Scott suggested I watch where Edgy Blade Works talks about this. What is up, Joe Isabel? Uh-oh, hold on. If y'all are getting ads, that should not be happening. Hold on. All right. You should not get any more ads. I apologize for that. YouTube has now a default setting, so hopefully they're gone. Great knife from Concept. This is an Edgy Blade Works collaboration, the Tipper. And they sent me another one that I've been carrying. That's a Sparrow Knives collaboration. And this is called the Baba Yaga. And this thing is a tall hollow ground 20 CV blade that is as slicey as any. I've not seen the original Sparrow Baba Yaga, but this is 80 carbon fiber, thumb studs, full size knife, but kind of a nice tall pelican looking blade. And then this is a Tuya Wrath V2. These are on sale. I want to say like 168 for the V2s. The V1s, which are rock patterned or solid titanium, I think are 158. S90V front flippers with either a compound ground drop point or Tonto. And then a Tuya Shocker, which is an SB Knives collaboration. This is a really cool knife. I've really enjoyed this. Great action. Flipper hole only deployment. Not a huge knife, about the size of a bug out. Then I've got the Sharp by Design Raptor because I haven't had it out in a while. Fantastic knife. I should really carry more. I don't carry it enough. But this has got one side that's just carbon fiber and one side that's titanium. So it's a little bit lighter than some of the others because it doesn't have a titanium show side. Deep hollow grind, super slicey. Brian Brown knife, like my Jaeger. And then beside it, I've got my Null Knives Voodoo, which I need to put my black carbon fiber scales back on. I switch those up every now and then. These are those, what are they called? Jungle carbon fiber. Ironically, what is up, 1931 Leatherworks? I was just showing y'all the sheath that 1931 Leatherworks made for the little Aries pedal. I'll show you a slip that's in my pocket here in a second. But of all the things I've had shipped to me since I've been in the knife game, a set of these scales are the only thing that have been lost. They got lost in shipping, and Null Knives shipped me out another set after they were obviously not moving from somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But they never showed up. And usually I'll have stuff show up after a while. No luck on the scales. Knock on wood. I could have had a lot worse things go missing, but I haven't yet. I'm sure I'm setting myself up for it. But I've also got a slip from 1931 Leatherworks that I keep my QSP Hedgehog, one of my favorite imported modern traditionals, just because it's got a tall hollow grind. I cut packages with this. I cut all kinds of crap with this, a lot of packaging material. It's a really good knife. I've got a couple of set of scales because I actually was one of the few people that had the spring fail on mine and had to send it in and got another one, but I kept the scales. I traded a set with somebody, I forget who, for a red, white, and blue set. I think I've got a red, white, and blue set and maybe forget what other color set. But they do fit other knives. They are all cut to fit, and they fit just perfectly. And then I've got some fixed blades out here. I've really enjoyed and continue to beat the heck out of this Olive Arbor, this big chunk of Elmax with this weird Fibonacci grind. It really separates material. I've got to get some better wood to baton through. I baton through some knotty wood, and it seemed to do really well because you've got this crown spine to about right here, and then it gets super, super sharp so you can strike a ferro rod on it. But this is, I guess you would call it a bushcrafter's knife. Great sheath, adjustable retention point. And then my Colin McGuire Mag 10 Knife Works EDW. Probably one of my favorite little custom fixed blades. What's up, Edgy? Edgy's in the house. Whoop, whoop. That's a cool little USA made fixed blade in an Oak City leather pocket dropper. And then this is a weird little knife. This is a River Hawk by David Mary Customs. An AEBL, I believe. I don't know why my camera keeps wanting to pop out, but it's got a little bit of a slight hawk bill to it. And I think those are rich light scales or something else, not rich light. And then the T-Kill Adversary, a Wicked Warncliffe that will definitely leave people leaking. MLK Ranger, what is up, MLK? MLK, I always can't tell if that's an I or an L because I've got terrible eyes, even with reading glasses. This is a great knife, whether you're slicing or poking. And then, pound for pound, this knife's right around, I think, $110. This is the Asher Little Buddy, an S90V. And I've yet to dull it. Now, I've only run it through cardboard and some wood. But I will sharpen it at some point. Still very sharp. Very cool knives. I would say if you go to the website, you probably won't see these in stock. Every Asher I've acquired over the years, I've done it by DMing him and getting him to get me one together and buying it, and he'll send me a PayPal invoice. I don't know if he still does that, but I never was able to get one on a drop. Dr. Drew Dude, what is up? Who else did I miss? Who else did I miss in here? I hope Kathleen's doing well tonight. I hope Dylan, what is up? Mr. Mallory Designs is in the house. Say howdy to Dylan. We got Donzo in the house. What is up, Donnie? Where's my... Now I'm going to drop Blade Walker, No Bull Reviews, into the chat one more time for a few of you. If you haven't had a chance yet to go subscribe to him, we're giving him a little love. He's going through some hard times, trying to get some subs. That was Mr. Greg Vanderlip left that message in the chat earlier. So if you've got a second and you're not sub to him, go give him a click-see and see what is up. Watch his stuff. Joseph S., what is going on, brother? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're recovering, Kathleen. Sucks that you had a setback. Said Stevie, good evening, brother. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you on a Tuesday night. Don't know if you're traveling or if you're around. See what I can do. Let me jump over here to... Oh, sorry, guys. I jumped behind the curtain for 1 second. There we go. Coming back. I'm coming back just like Katy Perry in the spaceship. Coming back. So, not that we need to talk about spaceships, and I don't want to belittle any accomplishment that anyone makes. But that was a little odd. The part I thought was very odd was towards the end where he was walking up to do the undooring and the door was open anyway. And they had to close it so he could use his tool to undoor it. Did y'all see that? It was very suspicious. Let's see this. Let's go over here and go Katy Perry astronaut. That'll pull up the door. Let's go landing door. Whoops. Let's see what's going on here. Here we go. Here we go. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be on The Simpsons in a couple of weeks, allegedly, as it were, which should be pretty funny. That is true, dude. I watched this. I don't know where it came from, but they were talking about all these things that were very weird about it. For one, that they didn't wear gloves or a helmet when they launched, which is not very safe protocol. I guess if it's going to blow up, a helmet's not going to help you. But yeah, this whole door thing. Let's get through this ad. And this was the thing that made me go, okay, there's no way. There's no way. Present share. He's got his little tool. Go back just a little bit. Oh man. All right. So you'll see the door open. See the door crack there after it landed. The door's open. It's about to be pushed shut from the inside. As Jeff Bezos gives him a no, close the door that opens in. So it just closed. Now he's going to use a special tool because this is the only spacecraft that has a door that opens inwardly, which doesn't make sense. Anyway, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was kind of whack. Palmer, what is up? And then I found out that the little butterfly thing she was holding up was her album tracks off her new album. I was like, that's kind of lame. And then when I watch it go up, I was like, all right, that didn't look real. And then it comes down with parachutes and lands in the desert, which looked like a thud. And they didn't thud out. I know they were strapped down, allegedly, as it were. It looks very, very phallic-y from what I've heard. And again, all fairness, they shot up there and cleared whatever that little line is to get weightlessness. That's great. But there's just a lot of things that don't make sense. I think it was all a PR stunt also. Maddie knows. Maddie was probably in on it. But it came down and it hit pretty hard. I mean, when you watch it or the view of that capsule hitting, I definitely agree with that. You can't tell anything with AI anymore. Maddie, we won't talk about it anymore. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. It looks like it's an exciting ride. I don't think I'd refer to myself as a trained pilot since I'm not really driving the thing. I'm riding on it, right? Um, I don't even think there was a control in the thing that you could have, it looked like it was controlled from the ground or whatever. Yeah, Maddie, we think it was all not true. We don't think they pulled it off. We think the opening door at the end, there's a lot of speculation on their hair. Granted, they were just in anti-gravity for a little bit. But why didn't they wear helmets? Why didn't they wear gloves? It just seems like they would when they were going up through all those, even though they didn't go through the, what is it, a such and such belt that's real radioactive. Yeah, that's the way I feel, Paul. It would be a fiery ride. But that's another thing that why I don't think they went up. Now they might have filmed it somewhere, and they might have been there when it landed, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll come out, whatever it was, or there'll be sides on both that say what it was, and we'll all get to decide. Because, like Ryan said, nothing. They didn't wear helmets either. And maybe it's just because that one doesn't go as far out in the atmosphere that you don't have to be as well protected because you're just going on the outer atmosphere. I know that, and maybe it's got good oxygen in there. I totally agree. And they were comped, by the way, by Bezos. They didn't write the whatever it cost, 250,000, which is insane to go for a 12-minute flight. Very out of touch. Very, very out of touch. But yeah, so I'll be putting some scales on that. I'll be putting some scales on a PM2. My scales came in for my PM2, but I ordered, oh, that's a good one, Ryan. That would be a good trip. Yeah, and I wasn't going to go there, but it's a totally different rocket thing. And the fact that one parachutes to the ground and the other one's caught, pretty wild. What's up, Oreo Dave? Good to see all you guys on this lovely Tuesday night. I saw Tri-State ended early, so I figured I'd start a little early. Come in here and see what was going on. Don't know how late we'll go. I actually had a buddy. He's been in here before. In chat, he was best man in my wedding. My guitar playing buddy. He passed away unexpectedly yesterday, which is kind of shocking. So I've had a lot of calls coming in about that. Trying to get some details. But what it tells you is life is short but sweet. So drink deep and enjoy it. Oh, it's all, man. It wasn't a sympathy plea. It was just if my phone beeps and I have to grab it, that is why. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But he is an awesome dude, and you got to think that it was time and everything happens for a reason. Just got to kind of buy into that, or you can just say, "Ah, screw it," but I buy into it. It wasn't a huge surprise to me. I don't know, like I said, the details, but one of those things. Oh, thanks, Cheeto. Hey, man, we're none of us are getting any younger. My mom and I were talking about it the other day, and she's very active, plays tennis 3 times a week, but she's in her 70s, and she's got a lot of friends that just aren't here anymore. That's true. No scorch marks because they didn't enter the atmosphere. They didn't burn through it. Oh, dude, I hate to hear that, Jacob. Sorry, brother. Man, sorry, sorry, sorry. Life is short, Kathleen. And the whole thing is, a lot of times, I know I struggle. I know a lot of us struggle, but you do. I think it behooves us all to find the best, right? You gotta find the positives because it's a cluster out there. It can be a cluster out there. It can make you it can be kind of crazy. Whoever got me on the 50s inappropriate commercials, thank you. I found some that I don't even feel comfortable playing here. Because I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm telling you, the commercials that they were letting rip in the 50s and 60s, whoo, there was no political correctness at all. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, with what we've been, I guess, shown or fed or taught. It's pretty wild. Thank you, Shady. Dude, it's one of those things, it hadn't sunk in yet. And it wasn't a huge surprise. Shocking, yes, but was, it's a trip. But we're hanging here tonight. I've also got my Evo out here that scares me because it has gorged into my finger so many times. And I've actually got, you can see those 2 marks on my fingernail. That's where I was trying to make my little batoning sticks because I wanted to film some batoning with that olive knife. And I set the saw down, just an old, shop saw, the big rectangular one. And I was breaking a stick that I'd sawed through, and I jammed my finger into the frickin' saw teeth, and it went through my nail. It has been painful. Thank you, Drew Dude. It's all good, brother. We will rally again at some point. It all is the circle of life. Speaking of the circle of life, man, I watched a slow squirrel today, or I should say a faster hawk. Or maybe it zigged when it should have zagged. I still think when a hawk eyes and kind of keens in on a rabbit or squirrel, percentages are pretty high that they're going to catch it. But this hawk came down, and the hawks around here are red-tailed hawks. So I'm guessing they could stand up to 3 feet, right, off the ground. And when they'll grab something off the ground, I live across the street from a cemetery, and when they grab something, they just come down super, super fast and just land with a thud. And you're like, well, damn, that guy came in. He must be happy to see me. And then you realize, thank you, brother. Yeah, condolences, Jacob. Sorry for your loss, brother. But came down and just slams on the ground, and then you realize that it's got a squirrel right there in its talons. And sat there and ate some of it, and then I carried it off, and I guess it was taking it to a nest, maybe. I don't know. But nature's violent, man. Life's a violent circle. It is brutal. That's why I don't go to Twitter anymore. Instagram's gotten really crazy with showing wacky stuff. I finally switched my Instagram account from a professional back to a private, and it lifted all my restrictions. Because as soon as I went to professional, I had that I couldn't be shown to anybody that wasn't a follower. And I peeled all 10 of the ones that were flagged. And 3 or 4 days went by, and the peel was lifted. They were all granted. They were fine. Well, AI instantly flagged 10 more. So I did this for about a week and a half. It finally came to a point where there were like 5 of them that Instagram stuck with. At the same time, I'm getting these like gear hanks, some hanks I used to buy long before Forrest was making hanks when I first got in the community. I'll put some pictures of it, and I guess AI can tell what it is. And they're wanting me to partner up with them, right? But I can't be shown to people because I'm showing knives. To me, it was just weird. So I went back to a personal account. All that shit was lifted. Very good knife company, absolutely. Came in so hard and so, I mean, with a crunching, and it was pretty much a puncture. But I've been watching on YouTube. I've made the mistake of watching a couple of what are they, Maltese Falcons, those little fast guys that come down, they hit things on the ground so fast you don't even see them. They just knock them dead, and they come back and gobble them down. Pretty whack. Nature's vicious. Hey, I can watch a dog chase its tail. I can watch cats do crazy stuff. That to me is positive energy, positive stuff. I know a lot of people aren't cat fans, but cats are freaking nuts, guys. I mean, they are nuts. Now, they're also predators, and they'll do that from time to time. But usually, if you get to them quickly, you can free whatever they've got because they bring it usually to you alive. At least that's my experience. Ryan, that's a great animal story. I still fall back to one that's about 6 years old, where I was driving down Montesano Mountain, which is about 800 feet above where I am, straight up a back road that's real steep, cliffy, woodsy, and it was sunset. And I'm driving down, and I've got my window open, and I felt something thump against my arm. And I started thinking as I was driving down, I was like, that's weird. I would have heard a tree hit my windshield before it hit my arm. Wonder what the fuck that was. And about that time, I felt something scurry up past my leg on the ground. I freaked out, pulled over to the parking area because there's an overlook. Got out, door open, lights on. There's a little bat standing there, dude. I had a bat fly into my arm, hit the ground. He was just standing there on his wings when I opened the door, and he flew out, and I freaked out. It was just like way too close for comfort. But that's my most recent scarring animal story, was the little fruit bat or whatever he was that flew into my arm and then rode about a quarter of a mile with me and then scurried up past my legs that were in shorts. Whew, it gives me chills thinking about it. Willy booger chills. And then today I'm carrying, and I've enjoyed carrying it because my buddy recommended that I get an MX Gear Strider clip for my Protect Strider because these are a different color. But my Strider had black hardware, so it works so good on the Protect. I put the Protect clip back on, and I've got this deep carry MX Gear clip on my Strider, and I really like it. Makes it carry a lot better, and it feels better in the hand. Strider clip, nothing really wrong with them. They just don't, well, they're not deep at all. And I've caught this on things before. I've had to put my Strider clip in a clamp like twice and straighten it back out. I love bats. I love bats when I know they're there. We used to watch them come out of this cave right up where I live, not all the way on Montesano, but about halfway up. There are these 3 caves that are human made where they used to get a bunch of quarry, gravel type stuff when they were making the roads. But you could go up there like at dusk, I guess, and the bats just come flying out, just tons of them. And they fly down. We used to watch them around the street lights getting mosquitoes. But when you have one ride in the car with you, I always think about rabies. I was thinking about he's going to attack me. What am I going to do? Is it a bat? And I didn't know what it was until I opened the door and saw him in a very bat-like pose. It was like he was hanging, standing up, the way he was poked up. It was creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy. So yeah, bats are definitely cool. They're very interesting animals. I love watching them from afar. I think big fish are very cool. I don't want to swim with them. Not even whales. That's not something I've got a fetish about. I get the chills when I see killer whales swimming by paddle boarders, and it seems like a very, peaceful encounter that most of these people have. But I've seen too many killer whales just go ham on seals. I mean, drag them off the beach and shit. Nobody wants that. Now, allegedly, they're smarter than us, too, if you judge the wrinkles in their brain. But I watched Orca, too, and I watched Bo Derek, the actress playing whoever that character was, get her leg eaten off by that pissed off whale, and that stuck with me. Not lies. I don't have fish fetish. Don't want to swim with the fishies. Never have. They are badasses. And if you've watched that, I see a lot of that footage of when they're up there where the ice is or down there where the ice is, and there'll be a bunch of seals laying on a big ice shelf, and there'll be like 4 or 5 orcas swimming as fast as they can, and they go under it, and they all hit the ice shelf at the same time with their tail and crack it, and the freaking seals go down. We're gonna have to pull one of those up. Let's go orcas, seals. Orca seals iceberg, baby. And I always get but I can go cut this out when it tells me that I've been bad. But this is educational stuff. Ruh-roh. Watch this. Put it this way. Orcas are effective. Yeah, dolphins that and orcas, I've seen orcas go after dolphins. Richard, I've been to the cave under the Congress Avenue Bridge and watched the bats come out. We stayed at the it was right next to the Grand or the Austin City Limits. I'm trying to think of the hotel we stayed in. But we literally walked about 3 blocks and we were at that Congress Avenue Bridge. It is very cool. It's creepy. But they are some, I mean, majestic animals. Yeah, I'll trust a dolphin too, Paul, but you know, bottom line is I'd rather be on the beach. Yeah, dolphins are very aggressively rapey or grapey, your YouTube terms of service. They are very grapey. Let's go orca dolphin. So they even hunt dolphins. Orcas don't care. That's the point. Orcas are just let's just watch a short. I mean, they just fuck them up. I'm not interested. I'm staying on the beach. Ain't no doubt. I'm on the beach. And bull sharks? Whew, no thanks, man. There's that dude over in India, I think. Where was it? Was it India? Let's go. Shark attack. Attack India. India. I don't know what ocean's down there. Egypt. I don't know what's going on in Egypt, but evidently they were feeding. There's a boat back there that was dumping goat parts out. There's a dude swimming. He's just swimming. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, man. He just did a handstand. He better start swimming. Oh, shit. Oh, that's the last we saw him. Yeah, stay on the beach, kids. If I can tell you anything, the beach is where it's at. I can handle a crab, sand crab, or even a blue crab, or even a jellyfish. I can walk around jellyfish. But man, if I got grabbed by a shark, that would suck so large. I have no desire to get sharked. I'm not a big fan of the beach either, Donnie, but I'm just saying over the ocean. What was that surfer do? Let's look at one more because this guy survived. But let's find what was his name? Great White Surfer. Great White Surfing Competition. All right. Let's get past the. All right, this is a different one. That's not it. I don't know if that one's going to end well. Let me find the. This is the one I wanted to show you guys. Because this dude not only survived, but he went back out and freaking finished the competition. I'm just telling you, and I know the odds of once you get chomped on, you're probably not going to get chomped on again. Watch this shit. He's calling for the freaking jet ski. Anyway, he went on to surf again, which is more than I can say. I would not go back and surf after getting shark chomped. Not me. Not going to happen. Not into it.
I told you to go to bed already, would you please?
I'm not tired!
I told you 5 times to go to bed.
Oh, come on, Jim, please.
Hey, come on.
Is this what you had in mind when you asked me to marry you?
No.
Remember when you first fell in love?
There's something more like this in mind.
Keep it that way.
Don't they know what caused all that chaos? That is too much. Too much. So has everybody got a full week? Is everybody just making it happen? Squidbillies is a bomb. I wasn't thinking about their grapey side. I was not thinking about that. I should have. Let's see what I've not looked at knives in a long time. Let's go over to DLT real quick and see what they've got coming in new. Uh-oh. Have they changed their website? I guess they have. There we go. New arrivals. Oh, Praetorians out the yin yang. You can get them cheaper on the secondary. Hinderers. Clips. Heretics. DLT will every now and then have really cool fixies. Look at that fixie. Praetorian fixie. I've never seen the Mizuki before. But anyway, I'll look at those MSIs. These knives are big, guys. That one's semi-serrated, but they are a full-sized freaking knife for sure. They've got Scouts in stock. I've got S35VN Scout, not MagnaCut. I think Best Tech OEM'd them. And they've got Scout Medics in stock. These are little bitty guys. The most overpriced tactile turn I've ever seen. And I'm sure it's worth it to somebody. Not me. More Hinders, XM24s. That button lock Roadrunner. I had a Finch Roadrunner. You guys won it. All right, let's go to River's Edge Cutlery. Did you go? Yep, you guys went with me. Check these out. New arrivals. Dead Reckon. I've heard not a lot, but I've seen these pop up, these Dead Reckon knives. Have y'all tried these yet? All of them are button locks except this one. Is that a different one? Nope, that's a button lock too. Hinders, XM 3.5 skinnies. Auto Eclipse. Some Vampire Jack fixed blades. Spider Code Janny song. What is that? Oh, check it out, guys. Little weird, wacky Spyderco. Johann and Vold slip joints. Microtex. TRM neutrons. Hug ballistas. More of the same. And they still got slims. Bulldogs. That's a good USA made knife. You can also get them in Magna Cut or 20 CV. It's a good size knife. But anyway, Derek, for real, what is up, brother? Good to see you, BEDC. What is up? Neil's been a member for 22 months. Neil, dude, thank you. Y'all sit back. I got to give Neil a man hug. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you, dude. And stop by Saturday morning. I'll tell you, old Miss Kathleen's had a good run the last few weeks. Neil showing love. Hey, as long as you're grinding, buddy, as long as you're grinding, that is all that matters. My hats are off to all of you that have skills that are transferable into cool shit. Like Terry. Made this perfect little appendix carry sheath. Or Edgy Blade Works, even though this is a concept. I think that's the sexiest blade. And when I first saw it, until said Stevie showed it so many times that it grew on me, I did not just fall in love with it right off the bat. Well, Shane was maybe going to come on, Cheeto. I sent said Stevie a link, but I don't think he's traveling, not sure. And then Kyle Coonley, not sure if he's around, but I texted him earlier. Tuesdays are kind of crapshoots because they're late night, you know? And I know people doze off. They've got stuff to do. I get it. So I figured I'll just come on here and chat with you guys and put on some background music, for God's sake. Let's play some music. Get my, there we go. Let's change our background up. Let's just go crazy. Let's go under the sea. Let's go golden rain background. Let's do that. Feel prosperous. Kathleen, hopefully you'll get that real soon. That Kermu AMA, I think you'll really like that knife. It's a flipper. Super sweet. It looks, the blade is very similar to this one. Awesome, Stevie. If it works out, brother. But it's got a compound grind. Let me pull it up. AMA. This is what Kathleen won. See if I can find it here. Up here to search. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here, mate. I'd never seen this knife before. But it is a banger. Let me show it to you. Got nice milled handle, inset carbon fiber, flipper only. M390 blade. Really good clip. It's a good one. But that's what we do. Oh, I hope so, Kathleen. Here, I'll tell you when it's coming. Let's go to Pirate Ship. Kathleen is in transit. Click on that. In Phoenix. So you click on that. Expected delivery Wednesday. So hopefully it'll come tomorrow. Hoffentlich. That's German for hope. Hopefully, hopefully. One of the few German words I know. Hoffentlich. So I'm really digging the Sparrow Baba Yaga. I don't know if you can tell how deep that hologrond is. But this thing is super, super slicey. Sparrow Designs collab. But again, I need to watch that that podcast to educate myself on the downsides of collaborating. Sorry, guys. I'm going to blow my nose, so y'all aren't going to get to see me for a second. You can probably hear me on the other camera. Just my goat chain, baby. These aren't Cubans. I got a set of Cubans coming in. I'm going to go for the full wrapper, the full blinged out look before the end of the year. With the gold hat, dollar signs on it, pinky rings. Did I miss a live with Donnie and Yako? Let me go up here. Go up here to Donnie. Bliss. Knives. Donnie, I thought I had notifications turned on for you. Make sure I do, because I didn't. Help with gadgets. Scotching things. That's what I want. Donnie's channel. Got notifications on. Oh, 1 day ago you were live, dude. I have started it so I can go watch it. It says 1 day, so yeah, maybe it's 2 nights ago. Sunday night, maybe? What's today? Tuesday? I never know. I know one thing. I need to get my ass back to work. Richard, I resisted on a clock. I did see a clock on Amazon that was tempting, but nah. I figured I had to ice it up. Uh-oh. Let me grab a beverage. We will have a Jet Life grape lemonade. Delicious. And then we'll follow that up with a coffee and see if that keeps us awake while you guys slowly fall off into dreamland. I'm going to switch the background one more time. Under the Sea. Crispy Critter, what is up, brother? The man, the myth, the legend himself. Crispy. Good to see you, buddy. We were just chilling on a Tuesday night, easing into a Wednesday morning on the East Coast. Happy Wednesday to all of you. East of me. We should get some Europeans waking up here shortly. Maybe Messer will jump in here. Let's go up here and let's change our brain out and let's keep it fresh. Keep it fresh, why don't we? Different music, get a little volume. Stout 2. Now, is that the second run of Stout 2s? Because I know I did a review on a Stout 2 last year. Maybe it was a second run of Stout 1s. But a very, very good knife. I've still got my Lush 2 mashes and a nip. And love those guys. They're great knives. I still say the CJRB $39 Pyrite Light. If you're looking for just a cutter, I might make another video on this just because it's such a good knife for what it is. Now, would I use it to go work around a campsite? No, not at all. That's what fixed blades are for. But for urban EDC, opening cat food, cutting string, opening packages, works very, very well. Super thin blade, so I wouldn't think it's super strong. Button lock, which we all know it's not the most secure lock, but it's past the whack test. Major Powell, what is up, brother? Good to see you, man. Crispy, it's amazing how light it is. Got a deep carry clip, carries very well. Brother Ryan Ellis sent me his Bel Air to do a review on, which blew my mind. I'd been Kershaw biased against them until I checked out the Iridium, and then the Bel Air just did it for me. I love that knife. I will eventually get one, but he sent this along with it. He's got several of them, and I'd had one of these before, and along with other pyrites, a Bowie pyrite, a Warncliffe pyrite. I had the first titanium pyrite from Atlantic that Russell said was a prototype, should have never been sold because it just had titanium skins on it. It was a bizarre knife, but I gave that away to one of you guys. But this is a great cutter. And they are, like I say, under $40. Really good action. Todd Carr, good evening, brother, or good morning. I agree, buddy. It's just a winner. It's a great little knife. I'll tell you, if you like concept knives, Tenable makes really good budget knives. They make like the Fenrir. They make several of the other concept knives in budget models under $50 that are really nice knives. 14C, G10. Now they're bar locks, but everybody's making bar locks, it seems like. Which the only thing I can't hate on with the bar lock is it is a stable lock. It's not one of my favorite locks, but I guess for an EDC knife, it's a good solid lock. Major Powell's a new member. Thank you, brother. Come to the live stream Saturday morning. You don't have to be there long at all, but stop by and I'm going to give you a man hug. Everybody hold back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And be sure to come to Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. You don't have to stay there. You just have to pop in. There'll be something on the board. And you'll be in for the giveaways. Bless Knives, you are a hugger. Ryan, if you do, it's got like skins on the outside. They're titanium, but they're not the titanium scales that they came with, right? Or they did come with, but not the later ones. It was when they first went from steel to titanium. So I even did the magnet test on it. I took the back end off, slid that skin out, and it's not magnetic. But it was kind of a scam. It's a good knife. It's just heavier than the regular titanium ones. I'd say the steel liners are thicker than the titanium skins. Donnie will get into the hug action over in Atlanta, the group hugs. I got to get all that figured out. Man, there's some great hugs that happen around the pit. I had some great hugs. I had a hug with Iggy. I got to meet a little Rottweiler puppy that was hanging out with us in the pit. It was so sweet. I forget his name. Somebody will remember it. God, who? Mr. and Mrs. Can't think of their name. Can't think of their screen name. Maddie knows. Stevie knows. Who had the Rottweiler in the pit 2 years ago. So what did everybody carry today who's still conscious? Oh, there's Stevie. Freak Show. That's who it was, Edgy. Do you remember the name of the dog? What's up, Stevie?
Mr. and Mrs. Freak Show.
Mr. and Mrs. Freak Show. And what was the doggie's name? Do you remember?
I don't remember the name of the dog, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool night. That's the night
No
that
clue about the name.
everybody went to the Kaiser dinner,
But
and I was just going to hang out in the pit and fell asleep. And Iggy woke me up.
Uh-oh.
I'd evidently been sleeping beside her. How have you been, buddy?
Oh shit! I had it on mute. Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay, is my microphone working?
I hear you.
Okay.
Hey, just fine. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, burning the midnight oil. It's boring stuff. I have to put together my Q1 presentation for tomorrow. So
you're doing that kind of work.
Yes, just got all my numbers. Can I brag for a second?
Sure.
I just got my numbers for Q1. I've done 684,000 in sales this year.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Your boy be selling shit.
That's what it's about, dude. You're just making relationships and selling shit.
That's
Yeah, I
really
used to,
man.
I used to love projections and gap plans. That was my favorite thing to do. Not literally, I hated it, but it sounds like you've got an easy one to put together because you can just kind of look at what's your growth supposed to be from this quarter, or are you looking at growth?
Dude, something's going on with my audio here.
Yeah, you were in and out there for a second.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm in 100% relationship. I'm a relationship salesman.
That's the way it works. That's the way it comes back to you.
But again, not to get too far off topic, but I think it's kind of relatable. I was telling, I think I was talking to Joe, Jack's Lungs, Maddie earlier. I talked to a dude on Friday that he was fed up with our company. Someone gave him my number. I don't typically talk to irate people like this, but he wanted to go to the regional and give him a piece of his mind. And I took a browbeating for like a good 15 minutes. He had some legit gripes and we had totally messed up a bunch of stuff. And I was like, hey man, I'm new to this position. Can't make any promises. Can't do anything about the past. If you still decide to go with us, I'll make sure that you never, have an experience like this again. And he's like, yeah, fat chance, dude. I got a PO yesterday, or maybe it was today. Yeah, no, it was today. Got a call first, and then I got sent an email going, don't know what you did to turn this guy around, but here's a PO, and he just placed like $25,000 worth of equipment. And
that's awesome, dude.
My point is, I'm basically in the customer service business. That's what I've always said. And I think 90% of jobs fall back on being in the customer service business.
Absolutely.
And I think it goes to show more than ever, you're allowed to, as a company, you're allowed to mess up, man. You're allowed
it's
to
how
mess
you
up.
handle the problem.
100%. I feel like that as a consumer in all aspects, I just try to do that, try to be that representative. And if more people did that, I don't think you'd have so many upset people. No,
because the most frustrating thing is having a problem not being able to contact the person. How much easier would it be because I took those calls as a district manager, somebody was a heater, call me. I couldn't fix it, but I could sit there and take a browbeating and talk about how unfortunate it is and I can't believe it happened. How can we make it better? What can we do to fix it?
Well, and I also just, sometimes, and this goes more, sorry, man, I took a couple dabs before I came on. So
ain't nothing wrong with that, dude.
The bigger thing also is, and I've talked about this a lot, a little compassion goes a long way, man. It's easy to get pissed off at people for whatever their bullshit is. They're having a bad moment. Look, some people are cunts and some people are never going to be talked down. But some people they're just having a bad day. By the time you're interacting with them, 3 other things have already happened to them. They're spouting off at the mouth. And it's easy to just be like, you know what? F you. Hey man, clearly you're having a bad day. And that sucks. It's amazing how you diffuse the vibe right there and pump the brakes.
Gain trust.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not just talking about business either. I'm talking about just in life. Show a little bit of compassion. People are going through some shit sometimes, man. And again, there's jerks out there. Don't get me wrong. But there's also just some people that are having a bad freaking day, dude. And showing just a little bit of compassion.
And the easiest way to do that is just say hello generally to people in the morning and in the afternoon if you see somebody, because you never know if other people are saying it. And the worst thing that it does is make you feel better about yourself. Even if they don't give you anything in return, but a lot of them will.
Oh, yeah. Anywho, off of my rant.
Congratulations, dude. That's an awesome quarter.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. But hey, I heard you talking about Tenable before I came on, and Tenable's got some bangers about to drop. One of them being, Dead Sober Designs Gideon.
Ooh, that
The
is.
Gideon. They had some available at Blade Show Texas. They still have it, and like they're coming soon. But this is Broke Ass Knives, Cole's design. Shout out to Lungbone. And then Concept / Tenable also has the Sage Rango.
Ooh, that's a good looking blade.
This is Work Knife Balance's design. This is Tenable. But then it's also coming out through Concept. And so you got Concept is doing a titanium frame lock, and Tenable is doing a G10 liner lock.
14C, yeah. I mean that's awesome.
14C,
dude.
and then 30S35 on. But
And Concept in most cases have kept their prices under 200, except for a few different knives that I've seen. Like this Bliss one, I think is 177 because they use S35.
yeah, I'm glad you're digging that,
Dude, I love that knife. I will one day when things get back to square. I will get a custom because I was sending A to Z EDC several of his customs.
If I see you at Blade Show, I'll hand it off to you. You can check it out for a while, man.
Dude, I would love that. It is a gorgeous knife.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Steve Clare has, in my opinion, the ballerest of all tippers. He's got one in like vintage Westinghouse, micarta, Damasteel. At the time, it was the most amazing work that Scott Stills had ever done, man.
Yeah, I mean, Shane's told me all kinds of stuff about how his work just feels next level.
It's amazing. And
What was that? How is Work Knife Balance? Oh, I think he's doing well. I think he's busy.
Yeah, he's about to have a kid, his third kid, any day now. He moved back to central, like South Central Washington. But yeah, he got a new job. Again, hunkering down, ready to have his third kid, and yeah, he's doing good though.
I'm making it happen, dude. I'm working through the details.
Oh, you're not 100% confirmed yet?
I'm not 100%, but I wasn't 100% last time. I'll make it there. I'm only 3 hours away. So it's just a matter of putting it all the pieces together.
I got the house booked and my flight booked. So Nuz is out this year. He's doing the Pacific Trail. So we got, in my opinion, don't tell Nuz this, but quite possibly a much better substitution. Iggy is staying in Nuz's place.
Oh, sweet.
So
that'll be a much. I mean, Nuz is a good guess, but Iggy probably takes the cake.
Yeah. We're staying at the same house for the third year in a row. Forrest, Sharif, and then Iggy and I think her youngest boy are going to be staying.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm going to make it there. It's just a matter of getting the details worked out.
Yeah, Donnie, the Astral is one of his best designs, man. It's a small guy.
Is that well, I can't think about Edgy Blade Works.
Yeah. It's an Edgy Blade Works. And yeah, it's awesome.
I've seen. Is it the pointy kind of? What do you call it?
It's got it's not quite a Persian, but it's got an upswept blade. Let's see if I go to Steve.
I got it right here. I think this is it.
Yes, that's a natural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gorgeous.
he's been messing around with the faux bolster stuff. So, or not? It's not faux bolster; it's an actual bolster. But
I mean, his blades are so unique.
this is true.
And where's he make these, Stevie?
What's that?
Where's he live?
He's in Asheville, just outside of Asheville,
Asheville, North Carolina.
North Kakalaki. Hell yeah, Kathleen.
The chipper's gorgeous.
Yeah, and then the only one in existence that Steve Clare has, the Tipper XXL, is.
Dude, this is the one I sent A to Z. Again, it's more bougie than I would ever go with, but look at that.
Oh yeah. So he gets requests for that. Like people book that stuff. You know,
I love the fixie, dude.
Every once in a while, he likes to let his. Oh yeah, the Tipper fixie was something that when he told me he was doing that, I was. Yeah, he gets those crazy requests every once in a while, and just goes for it.
That's awesome, though.
That's what. Dave? What up, Cheeto?
Cheeto. Night, Mallory. Have a good night, brother.
What do you know, Dylan? Dylan, I think, said yes. As of yesterday, he's only got like 45 more pre-orders to go, and then the what am I drawing a blank? Spectra? The Spectra pre-order will be funded.
Nice.
Is that? Am I saying that wrong? Is it the Spectra?
Let me pull it up.
I think it's the Spectra.
I think that's what I've been seeing around. Yeah, the Spectra pre-order. Gorgeous looking knife. I'm still a big fan of my OG Forest. I've kept it in the collection.
Yeah. Dylan is one of the few. Dylan has made it into my forever case. I got kind of like 3 cases. I got one that I don't give a F about. One, these can come or go, and then I have my knives that are not for. They'll be in the forever.
Yeah, my Forest is in my forever. Oh yeah, dude. You've got the what's the one on the top called? Is that called the Forest 2 or is that the different?
Yeah, that's the V2 with the blue dark matter.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Titanium.
Yeah. Titanium with the dark matter inlays. But
I think the Forest was one of my first pre-orders when I got in the knife game.
This was my very first pre-order.
It's probably my very first one too.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Dylan.
Dylan's the man.
Also, Dylan was, and I don't even know if he knows this, but he's going to bed. I don't want to make him blush. I think he was the first. So the Hadros is one of my. This was not my first Mallory design, but really the knife that I fell in love with Dylan, and he was the first like designer that actually like commented on one of my videos, or one of my or not videos, but this I think it was before I had Instagram or YouTube, and yeah, started chatting with him early on. So
great claw. I had one of those, the Hadros. And then I had an Archeo. What was it? Archeo?
Yeah, the Archeo's dope. Yeah. Crispy.
That's unfortunate, dude.
Scott in, if you knew how ironic your statement is, you would be amazed. I'll bet you just. Ed's gonna let him have it now. Oh,
I find him.
Have you ever heard of this?
No, what is that?
Zions.
Zions.
Yeah, once upon a time, like 15 years ago, they were like a sponsor in the UFC, and they were really, really big. And then they kind of went away, and now they're very, very hard to find. But it's a 0-calorie energy. It's like the only energy drink that I like.
Because it looks like it's pretty scientific if it's not got a lot of sugar and crap like that in it.
No, it's 0 sugar, it's 20 calories.
That's nothing.
I haven't had this since the Blade Show 2022 road trip because they don't have distribution up here. But dude, if this was a THC drink, this would be amazing.
Man, they've got one. It's horrible. It scared me because it looked like it'd be good. It was coffee. It had like 25 milligrams infused, and I thought it was going to be like this, right? But it was like black coffee, dude. I poured it in a glass, had to put sugar in it, cream in it, just to make it drinkable. It was harsh.
Yeah.
But coffee and THC, nah. I like it to be totally laid back. But that looks like I've never seen that before. Science or excellence?
Zions.
Science.
And I only like the cherry lime, but I just paid like $50 for a 16-pack that took forever to ship here. But
does it have that in it?
I don't know, man. That's a long word. I don't see that anywhere on here.
Probably not. Dragoon, I sold one not too long ago. That's a great knife with a fat grind. Now, I don't like the X towels, but I like the frame lock towels. I like the frame lock Kunwus. Hey, did you know there was a knife Reddit?
Yeah. Someone just shared, I think it was Maddie, just shared someone was showing off Lancelot leather on Reddit.
I haven't seen that one. I just saw in the group that there's somebody getting made fun of quite a bit over there.
Ooh, I got a hot one for you, Javon.
Talk to me.
Did you see the Smoky Mountain Knife Works Rough Rider?
No.
Go to Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
On their Instagram?
Yeah. And then scroll down. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it.
Right.
I think that's I'm surprised it isn't making more. I mean, maybe it is. I'm just completely out of touch, but that's making a big, I think would be making a big stink. So Smoky Mountain.
Why in the world is it? I hate Instagram search.
If you just type in
SMK.
Yeah. Oh, they took it down.
Dude, share it because I can't even find. Okay,
here it is. I found it. Yeah, here it is.
Maddie, you got a link too, brother.
So this is Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Now look at this. Before I even click on it, does that look like anything to you?
It looks just like a nimble.
Rider. Brown micarta liner lock right there. RR27006. And multiple opening methods. As you can see, we've got the back flipper. We've also got the front flipper.
What is that?
Really easy to actuate. And we've got the thumb hole / reverse flick hole. Right.
What is that?
That is a nimble, dude.
Absolutely.
It is a dead copy of a nimble. It's like
but no, this is the Rough Rider RR something or other, and it's $23.
Oh, I bet John's sick to his stomach.
The comments, I think he finally commented on it somewhere. Yeah, hey guys, it's a clone. and I don't know what else. I haven't read the comments in a couple days, but yeah, people are yelling at him big time.
What is the you shoot me that link? I cannot find him because I want to go flame it. What's up, Gareth?
I think more than anything, I mean, look, all right, here, I sent it to your Instagram. Look, I think that Smoky Mountain Knife Works should be addressing it at least. It's been like 5 or 6 days and they haven't said shit about it. But can something like that slip past them? Perhaps.
No, they're close enough. MP EDC.
But are they though? I mean, are they?
Maybe not.
Smoky Mountain Knife Works is into Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and if you are going to them, yeah, but they're not necessarily seeking out a lot of people, right? And
Man,
I mean, as EMP, I'm not making excuses for the clone. I absolutely.
Somebody sold it to them, right? Yeah.
It's Rough Rider. They're a Rough Rider dealer, right? Did they know?
Don't they own Rough Rider?
That's what I've heard. I don't know at all. Yes, Toyota Doug. That's kind of what I was.
And they definitely got to be into their comments because that comment is a flame war.
That's what's going on. Is they're not responding. So I think that that's their bad. But I think that Smoky Mountain Knife Works should absolutely. I think they're a great company. I think that I love everything about Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I know people who know people over there, and they are a fantastic business. This is definitely a misstep.
Wow, Poncho says on somebody else's comment, "Come on, Smoky Mountain, you guys should be ashamed." And Poncho says, in one of their recent Blade Show videos, they showcased an overseas brand that had a bunch of very obvious clones and IP theft. Not sure if they decided to carry them in the store, but Smoky Mountain Knives was definitely implying that they wanted to. Dude, I mean, they're not answering at all.
Right. Scott, yes, there has been clones out there for a long time of that.
Oh yeah, on Amazon you can find them.
But on look, I know they sell all sorts of knives on there. It's not necessarily about EMP EDC, as I think they should have a hard no, absolute no to clones policy. If it's a known clone, I think they gotta say nope.
Or they're gonna catch grief. People will buy it, I guess, but they're gonna lose a lot of customers.
Yeah.
Because I would think that what's his name, that little long-haired dude, would come out and make a video saying, "Hey, we didn't know."
Right. Yeah. I think it'd be, again, it's how companies respond. I think they could be like, "Hey, until you guys pointed it out, no." Or now, I'm sure that they've seen the nimble at some point. Is it in the forefront of their mind? I don't know. Again, I'm not making excuses for them. I hope that's the case, which is a legit thing. That's a very plausible.
And that's all true, but for Smoky Mountain to buy it and sell it, that's another level. Unless they have no idea, but now they have an idea because they've got 100 comments saying, "Hey, fuck stick, that's a clone."
Exactly. So I don't think I think it is plausible that it slipped past them. Because I don't see them doing that intentionally.
They don't have anything to gain off doing something that's a step on your foot.
It's a lose-lose situation.
But they've done lose-loses before when they pulled axial knives off the shelf.
Yeah, there is that.
And they never really came out and said anything about it. It just went away. Breaking into my last coffee. Yeah, that is disappointing. But again, maybe they'll come out and do something right. I doubt it because they probably bought a blooming 1,000 of them.
Yeah, but I mean, even even if they did, I don't think that it's going to go well for them if they don't do something about it.
No, I agree with you. I think that's a huge misstep. I mean, and they're getting a lot of hate, and I haven't seen one where they come in and say anything.
No, that's the problem, is that they haven't.
Okay, here's a Ashley. Let me know. Here's a link that the dude dropped in there. Check us out on our social networks. Oh, he's just fucking shilling in the middle of it. Holy shit. In the middle of it, I thought he was going to address this lady's comment, and he just shills all their social media.
Toyota Doug, there's no lawyers. They're not going to be held.
No, Tri-State mentions in his quote that he's got a lawyer. Yeah, there's never going to be. That's a big fish to go after.
Well, and it's China. You can't. I mean,
No.
I don't know that Smoky Mountain Knife Works would be liable for anything.
No,
But
I would think
China doesn't have the same. You can't sue them in their country for copyright stuff. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't
sue
have it in
us.
their culture.
They can sue us in our in our country for that type of stuff if we rip off something from them. But it's not reversed because they don't have those laws over there. So
Yeah, they don't look at intellectual property as that.
But yeah, I was just scrolling.
Yeah, that's true. Toyota and Tools. Maybe Smoky Mountain Knives will try to shut it up with their lawyers. That would be stupid.
I mean, they could also come out with on the other side if they were to be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we messed up. We don't support clones. We're pulling it down now that we realize it. We need to do a better job at monitoring this type of shit. And
No harm, no done. That would be such a good way to handle it.
they can have and it's okay for them to eat a little shit on it, but it wouldn't, if they address it right, it wouldn't stop me from still considering them in the same capacity.
No, I didn't support them as much when I was buying knives because they're closest to me, but they would sit on shit like Blade HQ for 2 days. They sit on my order for a couple of days before it move. Or DLT, E-Knives, River's Edge always usually ship the same day.
Yeah. Man, I just ordered something from White Mountain Knives today. And White Mountain Knives is one of those websites that if you go to their site at all and you click on something and then you don't do anything and you just leave, you'll get an if you're signed into your account, you'll get a, hey, you were looking at this, why didn't you buy it? Email,
Right.
But the Aries design with Kubi, the Bloom, just hit White Mountain Knives today, and we did a giveaway when it dropped, and Kelly White won.
Oh, sweet.
Originally, they were only being sold through Kubi and Knife Global. They wanted full price plus $35 for shipping. So I said, hey, I'm gonna wait for White Mountain Knives. With using the 10% off code, it was $48.
And Dragoon, the sad thing about that is most of their business probably doesn't care. The knife community and as big as they are is probably a small percentage of what they sell.
Oh,
they sell,
for sure.
They probably sell to tourists and people coming through. That sucks. Drinkwater says, hey, said Stevie.
What up, Drinkerton H2O?
What is up?
Yeah, look, if you've ever been to any touristy type big knife store or any store really, the touristy stuff is put up front. The cheap stuff that, if something's under $20, people are more likely to buy that.
Right.
Or in the store you go, that's where but me and Maddie and Nuz and Cue Ball stopped at this huge store out in the middle of the desert in Arizona on our way to Blade Show. And you walk in, And all the crazy flea market-y type knives are in the front. The zombie, that's got the zombie
Blood on it.
nugs and spikes on it, like those type of knives. And then they have all their legit stuff in the back, But what up, Sharif?
Yeah, I'm gonna go probably tomorrow to our Knives and More and make a video. I've talked to them about coming down. He carries a ton of Benchmades. I promised Zach I'd give John, the owner, Zach's number so they could talk about certain knives that Zach wants. This guy trades for, but he's got the ProTech Vero down there.
Oh,
he's got a couple of them, so I'm looking forward to going down and playing with it.
I'm waiting to see if different variants come out with that. That's a knife I'll own. I love the Synapse. I've owned every variation. I no longer own them. I've sold them all off, but I've owned the XL, the regular Synapse, and the mini Synapse.
It's the best Vero, I think.
I love it. Now that it's in a auto US ProTech, I really want one.
Yeah, that it does look sick. I'll tell you the one I like that I did at first is that Oligarch.
Oh yeah,
the new one that's kind of got the sheep's footy reverse weird modified blade or whatever. Sharif, what's up? I'm shooting Sharif a link. I don't know if any of them are. I won't be here forever, but here for a little bit as long as people want to hang. Ever. All right. I'm sending it to the real Sharif.
Yeah, Sharif. That's the other thing. I don't think I want like an inlaid version. I'd like a full aluminum, like a Malibu,
or just like
or like the TR3 series, or the TR4s, or the
Which is the button lock that's got the thumb stud? Isn't that a TR?
Yeah, it's a TR3.
I like that because I'm a big fan of my ProTech.
I think they do aluminum very well.
Sharif is busy not shipping Maddie's knife. That's funny, Kathleen.
Kathleen.
I love it. All the blooms are sold out on White Mountain knives. That sucks. You'll get more.
Oh, I got mine right in the nick of time. The blue micarta one that Kelly wanted was sold out, so I got her the.
That's the place I usually go shop with you guys because White Mountain Knives. I've gotten a ton of my little fixies there. I always go to New. Where's New?
They had the Ultim one still available and the black micarta. Oh yeah, black micarta's out of stock.
Bloom. They're all out of stock. They're all notifying me.
Well, shout out to Aries, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how many they had, but these hit today, and the fact that all
sold out, that's huge. I mean, I knew they were going to be popular.
So there was an unadvertised sale going on with them also.
Through White Mountain or through Kubi?
Through White Mountain when they were still available, because I said I ordered Kelly Whites today, and let's see here. I paid. I gotta log in.
And there are tons of 10% codes, Dragoon. Almost everybody's probably got one.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah. Ed, where's Maddie's Aurelia? Where's Waldo?
Yeah, so when I checked out, it was $66.15, and then there was a discount of $12.80. Plus, I used Keister 10, got an additional $5.12 off, and so the knife shipped with their $2 shipping protection. I just kept it there for $48.23. So shout out to Aries, man. The bloom is flying off the shelves.
Is this the top liner lock? I'm kind of a Vosteed fan. They don't send me anything to check out anymore, but they have some cool knives. That's one of their new ones. I think it's a top liner lock.
Those top liner locks have gotten popular.
They have. I like them better than a bar lock or better than a plunge lock. Because I always like the smock.
Well, that's what I got. I was just talking to Shane about this earlier today. The smock.
Shane was supposed to jump up here. He bailed on me.
Talked to Shane for a while earlier. Oh, real quick. I wanted to give a shout out to Some Dude. And all of Some Dude's paintings. Today was Some Dude's birthday.
Happy birthday, Some Dude, wherever you are.
And for those of you East Coasters, you can start wishing Miss Patina Turner a happy birthday.
We're 15 minutes from Central Time wishing him happy birthday.
We're still living in the past out here, but
that's awesome though that y'all are still in the past.
Wednesday is Patina Turner's birthday.
Green, I feel the exact same way. I really like the I bought a what's it called? It's the one that's got that push lock. It's L-Max. It's got the lock where the pivot is. Not Acorn, Alcorn or something. And the Dalmatian's a great knife. I tried the Psyop. My buddy had it. I reviewed it, the high-end one, and liked it so much that I bought a Tyconic from Blade Binge, and it's tiny, but it looks very much like the Psyop. It's by Tough Knives too.
Pepsi. But yeah, I don't know much about
Blade Walker.
Although I did. Oh yeah, shout out to Blade Walker. Was that Gareth? Yeah. I posted trying to spread the love for Blade Walker.
I was trying to get to the link. Make sure I'm.
Blade Show West 2022. Stella and her lovely wife Mary were working the Vosteed booth, and they took about an hour break, and I manned the Vosteed booth.
Was you there?
They were not the Vosteed that they were today. They only had the Nightshade was like their only model that they had out at the time.
Was that the year they had the mini Nightshade out?
No,
that was the year before that.
The Nightshade had just dropped, and the Valkyrie was still in prototype. This was 2022. But
I never had a Valkyrie, but it reminded me of the Cormorant.
Yeah, a little bit.
For some reason, it didn't look like it.
It was a cheap fidgety knife. Button lock. Yeah, that was fun actually working the booth and barking. Like actually I sold some kitchen knives while I was working there. I sold one of the Nightshades.
That's what I should do. I used to work trade shows for our kitchen and bath company.
Oh,
and man. I would love to work one of the knife shows for a booth. I guarantee you I could shill some knives if I liked them.
It's fun. I've done it. I'll probably end up doing it with Sharif a little bit. But then I've helped Scott Stills, Edgy Blade Works, out at his booth a couple times too. So
Dragoon, I had one. I gave it away on here though, dude. I had a V2. I sent it to Pocket Metal. I've had both growlers. I like the blade shape.
I just sold. I sold all my Devos as a lot to a Don Farmer from D&K Knives.
Sweet. Did you have a Lush?
A Lush. Which one?
Lush is the one that kind of looks like a slip joint, but it's a.
No. I had
one of the only ones I've kept.
I had the first What was the first one called? The Growler? No, not the Growler.
Stout.
Yes, the Stout. I had the Buzz, the Mash, the Pony Stout, and one of the other ones. I don't remember. But I had like 5 different ones. And Kevin even hit me up when he saw it. I was like, "There's nothing against you, man, but just like you do, if they just sit in my knife case, I'm getting rid of them."
Yeah, he was the one that would love on a knife, sell the shit out of it, and he'd sell it before it came in.
There was a bit of a misstep with the V1 Growler.
Yeah, they were shielding, right?
Yes, they were shielded. I happened to get one of the good ones. But yeah, so I don't currently own an Epivo.
And that was very adjustable. You could go in and tweak that lock bar a little bit because it was so shittily made. But I liked the blade style. I liked it. I liked its look better than the Stout. The Stout never spoke to me the way it looked. And I've got to like the way a knife looks.
Yeah, aesthetically it was off. It was a good knife, though.
A very good knife. Like I said, I reviewed the V2 or his second release and thought it was a great feeling knife, great cutting knife. I still didn't like the way it looks. It looked like a sick pelican or seabird or something.
Yeah.
Lefty sold his custom Strix. I thought he'd keep that one too.
Not me.
But no, Lefty's not gonna. I admire him for not getting attached because I do get attached to certain knives. I've got a case, Stevie, that won't sell. What's up, brother?
Yo.
How are you, man? Are you in the garage? Are you somewhere different?
I am in the sweatshop.
Assembling, trying to get Maddie's knife out.
No, that's not going to happen for another like.
You're letting the toddlers take a smoke break for a second.
Yeah. No. Maddie's not getting his knife until like 2026. You know.
Make it. Hey, you'll appreciate it more if he likes it. If he waits.
Exactly.
Sharif's taking the joke to the. Maddie's like, haha, you're gonna send it, right? And you're like, no, I'm actually not. But Maddie's thinking, surely he can't be serious. He'll send me my knife. And then
Maddie keeps refreshing his shipping. I got some skiffs in today. Now I'm just waiting on a couple of sets of scales that I bought from AWT. I haven't done any assemblies in a long time.
So, Sharif, Skiff is out of the
washers. Yeah,
I've been seeing a bunch of people looking for them.
Yeah. It's
I've got a set for my JK, not my JK, my McNeese. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, I still haven't done that, man. But
I'll tell you what else I've got them in. I've got them in my baby banter.
Oh.
This is let me grab it.
I found that not all knives work really well on the washers.
No, the Buzz did not.
Yeah, and also some knives with the washers prefer like Chris Reeves grease. Other ones prefer like KPL heavy. So it's like you got to kind of experiment a little bit to like dial it in.
I use Slick 'em all. Just a little bit of Slick 'em all on the washers.
I have used Slick 'em all.
It dries up though.
It does, and I need to get more. But Nano Oil 10 weight is
that's my number one.
That's my go-to for it. Just about it. I don't have it. I have a bunch of stuff. Like I have the stuff that Lynch was selling for a while, the dog drool.
Mm-hmm.
I got some Gunny Glide. I got KPL. I got it all, and it all works pretty good. But Nano Oil 10 weight is what I typically reach for. I got it in one of the little needler bottles that's lasted me for.
I've got the blue top, which is a 10 weight, and I've got the red top, which is the same as KPL.
Man, I just restocked on the Chris Reeves lube because I love for my 0640. That's what I use, and that thing, or actually all of my washer knives. It's what I use, like the ones that are built as washers. And yeah, like the action, once you kind of like get through the initial sticky layer, it becomes drop shutty just like that.
Yeah, this is with nano oil on it, but yeah, this is even Steve Clare handled this.
Is that a ZT?
Yeah, this is the 0640. Steve Clare handled this and was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and there's like, okay, maybe I can tighten this pivot up a hair, but that's still not gonna.
Yeah.
Even.
Okay. I want a Chris Reeves pretty bad. That's one knife I don't have in my collection. I've reviewed
it's so funny. So many of us are like looking at and talking about Chris Reeves lately. Like, I don't know why. All of a sudden, just in like our little like corner of the world, Chris Reeves is starting to pick up for some reason. Like, I just got a small one for my dad secondhand. I'm gonna get a large Nkosi. Cheeto and Lungbone were talking about him earlier. Patina got one not too long ago.
They're great knives. I mean,
they are.
Ryan's got another Nkosi coming this week, he said.
I think it's one of those knives. I got mine right here.
I want an Nkosi really, really bad. That's going to be my next purchase for sure.
I got a Sabenza, or I don't know where it's at.
I'll probably start with a Sabenza. Hopefully end with the Sabenza.
I got it somewhere.
Yeah, Javon, like that. I think you wouldn't mind the Sabenza at all because the
where is my
I like the Nkosi and the Zahn because they're a bit bigger, and the Sabenza is a bit small for my hand. But I wear like an extra large size glove.
I think
so. If you have a large hand size or smaller, I think the Sabenza is a great fit.
Yeah, I've not tried it in Nkosi, but I tried my buddy A to Z Sabenza, and I really liked the way it felt.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I even like the small Sabenzas.
Night, Neil. Have a good morning, buddy.
I kind of want one for myself,
Do you have any Chris Reeves?
Not the only one that I've ever purchased was the one that I gave to my dad.
I don't know what I did with my Sabenza.
I've handled the Zahn, dude. I like it a lot, actually. I can't remember if it was I think it was 5-door. Let me hold on to his for a couple of weeks, and I really like the Zahn. But the Nkosi just tickles my pickle.
The Sabenza, I think, is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sabenza is the same size, Sharif, as the...
Did you put the second stud on there, or did it come with it?
This is completely stock. Or, I mean, I put a lynch clip on it, but...
Very nice.
It's the same size as the 0640.
They look similar.
No,
Is that a Chris Reeves inspired ZT?
No,
it's Emerson.
It's a fucking copy.
No.
I'm kidding.
The ZT is a scaled down version of an Emerson custom knife.
Yeah.
So the thing for me is where your pinky hits on the Sabenza, right? For me, it's
like right on the point.
Yeah, my pinky, it splits the middle, and that's one thing that I really dislike in any of my knives. So like when I look for something that I buy, it's got to either go in the gap in between my pinky and the ring, or it's got to go to the other side. And the Aurelia is designed to that for that reason.
Ryan, I would agree with you though. I think that the Nkosi is the better of the two.
Yeah, I'm a big Nkosi fan.
Yeah, I think the Nkosi is the better of the two, but I also think that You know,
Yeah.
it's a knife that seriously. I mean, and both of these, I think, are knives that if you could only afford one expensive pocket knife, either of these would suit you for the rest of your life.
Is the ZT under 3 or around 3?
Well, it's discontinued.
Oh, okay. So
it
it's
was like a $299, I think, when it was first out.
Dude, there's 3 or 4 of them on Blade Bench right now for under 300.
Oh, then that's a steal. Now I've heard that they're supposed to be coming back out. I think Tina Turner single-handedly got them to bring it back.
Night, B Shady. Yeah. Have a good night, brother.
Yo, good night, B Shady.
Deuces, B.
But dude, I want a large Nkosi and a small Sabenza. Like, I think a small Sabenza is like a perfect, like, high quality summer carry, like smaller knife.
Light
stuff.
carry.
Yeah, like it could be like a good secondary even if you've got like a big bruiser. Let's say you're carrying a Strider Javon, right? You throw in that small Sabenza in there for like lighter jobs where busting out like an SMF is going to be like too much, you know?
Yeah, that would I'll carry a slip joint in my left pocket that all full disclosure, I rarely use. I use my flashlight a lot more that I carry also in my left pocket. My primary fixie, and then in my back pocket, my primary folder, which I had to cheat and get an MX gear clip because they make one for the Sabenza. I bought it for my ProTech, but I liked it so much that I put it on this one because it had black hardware.
Nice.
I'm a full week plus in of this being my primary carry.
Are you loving it? That's a gorgeous knife. That's your custom, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I just like it so much. I wanted to carry it, and this has just been my primary knife.
Oh yeah.
In my.
Did Scott, not to change the subject, but did Scott make that fixed blade tipper as a one-off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a custom request.
Beautiful little knife.
I mean, I'm sure he'd make more if you got on his books and you told him that's what you want. I'm sure he'd do another one.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous little knife. I just think I think the small fixies are where it's at for me.
Oh
yeah.
Without a doubt. I just got a Jacob Creates email.
Did you get a Hail Mary?
No. As much as I want one, I'm to the point now where it's like, all right, I have too many. I want to carry just one, you know, and there's too many. But everything about those knives.
I think the Tonto is the sexiest for me, the one I like the best, but they're all gorgeous, even the spear point. But you guys know me, I'm a chickadee freak.
No, I mean, yes, we give you crap, but the chickadee is a fabulous freaking knife, man.
It's a great little knife, dude.
It's
a cat food opening machine.
I'll just never forget Blade Show West 2022 was awesome. But there was a buzz started over the chickadee. Went in there day one, he had a table full. He had like 20 plus. At the end of day one, he had sold like 3 or 4, and the couple of people that got him were showing him off, and you heard people talk, oh man, have you stopped by and see the chickadee? So much so that the Saturday morning they were sold out within like the first hour of the opening, and he just chilled the rest of the show. But
what a unique little knife, because it's not ergonomically as pleasing as I would think the Hail Mary, but I loved it. The first one I got, Kyle sharpened for Lefty. Well, no, that was the second one I got. First one I got from Honey Bear. It's a full flat S90V.
Yeah, the Z-Wear is the one that he's got. It's the Warncliffe that he's got coming out.
How are you, Kyle?
Good. What's up, kids?
What do you got on your single clamp there?
Coil.
Nothing right now. I had it out. I was trying to work on a few things and I had a knife, and that was kind of a troublemaker. So I ended up trying some different options, but it's all.
I'm sure you figured it out.
Yeah.
So these are 315. Yeah, I mean,
shit. Which one are you looking at?
This is the pre-order that's happening tomorrow.
Oh shit! That reminds me.
Oh, the Warney. Yeah, I love that. That's a Warncliffe Hail Mary.
Yeah. So what's that? 165 down, 150. So yeah, 315.60.
I want to say my chickadees are right around that 270 range. Now my used ones weren't, but the one I bought new, the 20 CV one.
I think that I think that's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know if those have the scales that come off, but when you take the chickadee scales off, he's got his maker's mark deeply etched in there. It's got the blade steel on one side, deeply etched. They're just very elegant little knives.
Knife that I have checked out, Northern Knife Works.
What's up?
Northern Knife Works. Yeah, did you see, Kyle, the new Rough Rider when we were looking at that?
No.
Look at this. Let me find it.
I just hopped on. I've been busy, actually.
This is the new Rough Rider. Wait, you guys see it when it starts? Here you go. Got multi-deployments.
Dude, that's a freaking nimble.
Looks like a nimble. That's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. Look exactly.
Dude, you should read the comments.
What the fuck?
The comments are just filled with hate.
Of course.
They haven't announced. I mean, they haven't said anything about it. But yeah, it's totally a nimble. Even John's in the comments.
Well, I mean, no offense to John, but that's
what you right.
But
for them for Smoky Mountain to buy it and sell it, that's kind of shady on another level, right? We always joke about Amazon.
I agree, but they also sell budget bullshit too, though.
And like we were saying, or I was saying earlier, I don't think the knife community is their bread and butter. I think it's the people that come in and buy the inexpensive knives.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they do just enough to be involved in the community, but they are not. I'm not saying this in a negative way. They're a big company. Smoky Mountain Knife Works is about Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You know, community. Of course, they're gonna. You know, they had BEDC on. Like if people go in there and seek them out, or they run into people at Blade Show. You know, they did that little interview with Jason Brown back in the day.
Right.
I think they're as much of the community as they can be. But again, they are about Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You know,
right? Did the guy?
They have their own. They have their own community with
Rosecraft. Did they split off from Smoky Mountain completely?
Yeah.
Because I think he and the guy at Smoky Mountain were Rough Rider.
No, I think that they had a part of it, but Rough Rider is definitely its own company.
Is it?
Yeah. Andy is
Andy
Armstrong.
Edgy, you got a link, brother.
What up, Shane?
People
need to remember that, like, there's a difference between business and community.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You know? And like what a business is going to do is not necessarily going to always be in touch with the community. And they need to be cut from the slack.
I think in this instance, though, they can be forgiven for a bunch of shit, but they should have a hard stance about, okay, we're not going to go down the clone road.
Right.
You know, we messed up. I was saying it earlier. I was like, they could be like, hey, we messed up. Because they might not be 100% up on EMP EDC.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're small, they're a niche maker. That's exactly right.
Very, very possible.
But they are now.
Now that it's been pointed out, they can't ignore it. They can't ignore it, you know.
And like somebody said earlier, I think it was Dragoon, that that company, they were at Blade Show a couple years ago talking to them, and they have a bunch of clone knives that they sell on a more budgety.
Here's what kind of what it comes down to is we've always talked about this in the community is it's not what you do, sometimes it's how you react to it. And this is their opportunity to see how they hold their water.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's the conversation we were having earlier. That literally that exact thing.
Exactly. It applies to this in a big way.
Well, sorry to reiterate.
Well, no, I mean, but that's I like that you reiterated it, you know, because I think that's the truth. And I think a lot of people will think that way. If they come out and be like, they can eat some shit about it. People,
congratulations, Andrew.
You know, but if they definitely are like, yeah, we messed up. No, we're not going to support clones.
Right.
You know, all right, cool. You know.
What's up, chat? Sorry, I haven't said hi to everyone, but I see all. Yeah. What's up, Andrew?
What is a K03?
It's a TS Prof.
TS Prof. The one.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. But you know what I've noticed too is they'll buy knives, because I've seen there's a guy who reviews them, only clones, Oz Roosevelt clones, Chris Reeves clones, knives that haven't been voluntarily sent. You know, I don't know if you're necessarily safe. Now you're putting yourself as low hanging fruit.
Let me share some things with you guys real quick. Like I'll give the super fast version, right?
Dude, take your time.
No, anybody who does business with a Chinese company should know, and going into it should know, that cloning your stuff is a possibility, right? Like, I had stuff that I designed was simply cut out of carbon fiber, sent to me, and then was later sold on AliExpress as like a fully completed drone, because they could see who they were sending it to, what the business was, and what the final design should look like, right? And so, like, it's a given. I know that. Like, I'm going into this, like, eyes wide open, right?
Sure.
And here's the thing. Like, is it an unfortunate reality? Absolutely it is, right? Does it change anything? Not really. Like you said, in the case
legit buyers are going to buy legit products, right?
Right. Like, it's the old thing of, like, the people who are going to spend the money with you will eventually spend the money with you. The people who never were, and you are never going to win them over, right?
Right.
So, like, at the end of the day, like, I don't see what all, like, the whoop-de-whoop is, you know? It's like, dude, it's China. Like, how long?
Yeah. And that's a very mature way of looking at it, Sharif.
Honestly, I completely agree. It does suck, but I think there's a big difference in a major U.S. retailer
jumping on that bandwagon.
Well, I don't even know if it's a bandwagon. I think we're quick to want to roast them, and maybe they are guilty, but I think that they've earned enough respect to where let's see how they handle it.
How long ago was that post? Let's go back and look.
Go ahead.
But it's been 6 days or whatever. They haven't responded. That's
4 days ago. Rough Rider, Brown Micarta, RR27.
I will say one thing though. It's for us to act like we're shocked. It's then you're just naive, because everything they do is reverse engineer a clone. They don't create or they don't innovate. They copy, and they're a manufacturing country. They're not a innovative country.
Right.
So, especially with technology nowadays, it's not hard to 3D scan something in reverse engineering stuff.
Dude, you want to know how crazy it is? It's not even that fucking hard, right? Like, okay, back in the drone days, it was literally as simple as you posting pictures. They could approximate stuff, especially if you posted pictures that were like, you know, straight view, side view, plan view, like all of that stuff, right? But then, like, they just recently took it down, you know, but freaking OZ Machine Company literally on their website had the full specs of the Rosies. right?
Yeah,
Like
that's-
literally down to the millimeter, you know? And so, like, how can they get upset if their shit gets cloned if you're literally publishing your full blueprints online? I have screenshots of it,
yeah.
you know?
This is a good point that John makes here, though, because this one guy says, you know, R&R has been doing this type of crap for a long time. That's why I don't give them any money. Talking about Rough Rider Reserve. Sorry they stole your design. A couple other people say it's bullshit. MP says, Mr. Dela Cruz, it's not so much about some overseas company stealing my work. It's about a respectful U.S. dealer supporting that theft.
Boom, there you go.
And I think that's well said, and that's absolutely the problem there. And now they should have enough information to go, you know, we've probably, and I doubt they're going to. Let me go to their website, see if they've got it up.
They do. It's $23. It's $22.99.
Well, I don't know how they could dump them now. You know, they probably purchase them and have them.
Well, sure, but you do the right thing, right? At some point.
God, it looks like a total garbage version of the.
Oh, it does look thick.
That looks like a worse than $23 knife. Man. That's what sucks more than anything. It's not like it's a high end clone, and there are some of them out there actually, but this is just it's like this would be lowercase n, capital Y, lowercase n, you know, nimble. This is garbage. But yeah, no, I don't think anybody should be really that surprised. I just do think, again, that's the point more than anything. It would be nice to see Smoky Mountain Knife Works at least be like, okay, we messed up. We're not going to support outright clones, though.
Right.
But here's the thing:
we're
such a small niche of the market. Do they really even care what YouTubers think or what our community thinks when they can sell to the general public?
Only because I think that if they are going to have, I think their sales will say no. However, if they're going to be on social media, that's where they're going to get the shit beat out of them.
Right. I mean, they're going to take it on the chin, but how long is that going to last? Is my point.
Well, there's that. We're all going to move on past it in a week.
Correct.
Everybody gets away with murder in this community.
That is an ugly.
There are some people who, for example, like will not still do business with Kaiser because they cloned like back in 2015 or 2016, right?
Are you talking about Skelton? Because he's an absolute hypocrite.
Yeah, Skelton and a few others.
Well, didn't he?
I got into it with him on Lefties one night about that because he was going off about Kaiser and this and that.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, but you're also doing designs with
Tuya
Chinese company. Well, no, he had a design in the works with CKF, and he was like, and he's like, oh, you can't prove that they're. I'm like, Kevin John and CKF both said that they're made in China and that you were doing business with them. So
there's that's not up for debate anymore.
Yeah, right. Kevin John is known Chinese factory. Like, come on.
But the point is, and I'm not saying that he couldn't do business with them, but just don't be a hypocrite and say that, oh, well, you can't support Kaiser because of that.
Yeah, because it's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not what you do. Sometimes it's how you react to it. And that's going back to another principle of it is just, if you're going to take a stand on something, take a stand on it and believe in it all the way through.
Yeah, don't have that. And that's the thing that gets me, right, is it's like, there's a lot of people who will take stands on really like minor things, and then it's just like, bro, you don't really care. You're just trying to find a justification for this one thing, Like, ooh, Jesus. Oh, here, you want to see a little behind the scenes? This is what I got to do now.
Oh, dear, those cuts.
Look at
Oh,
that.
I'm preventing them because like when I check lock rock, I need to rest the blade on my finger because before I didn't, and one day it slipped out of my fingers and cut my middle finger. So I just like, I can sit and really grab and hand the
Would cut-proof
blade.
gloves work for you, or would that be too much?
I need the tactility of my finger, like my touch.
Why does Sharif look like he's in a meth lab or something with all hazy smoke above him in the light?
Dude, I am.
You make shit happen, dude.
If the light was buzzing and flickering just a little bit more,
Shane, that is correct. And I will say he has changed over the past few years since he had some health issues, and I hope he does well. And he's very talented.
He's a great videographer.
I've never said that he's not talented, but he was a dickbag for a lot of years, and I don't trust anyone pushing Invicta watches on you.
So I've never liked the guy, but I will say the one time he went on, God, he was on a Dirk live. I called it the double douche live stream.
Dirk is douchey. I like him, but he's douchey.
I will say what made Jim Skelton, I looked at him a slightly bit different, is he was going off on deep carry pocket clips. He's like, it's the stupidest shit ever. No one actually cares about deep carry. And I was like, man, you're making such a bold claim. Some people want something to completely disappear in their pocket so you can't see anything, so no one's gonna complain about a clip hanging out, right? And he was like, oh, well, that's actually a valid point, so I'll take everything I just said back. And I was like,
that's pretty strong. That makes me think, I mean, somebody willing to say that's a good point. I didn't think about it that way.
He was like, he got me. He's like, you actually got me. So I was like, yeah, all right.
I gotta say, like,
Steve would never have said that.
I heard all of the horror stories about Skelton, and when I sent him my my Kaimano to review and told him it was from Kaiser, knowing that he had like hated Kaiser, he still came at it with a fucking open mind and actually gave me a really great review. So
yeah, but he also had put the asterisk on it saying, "Oh, but it's OEM by Kaiser."
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, did he not?
Yeah, he did. But credit to him, man. He could have really like fucking shitbagged me for that, and he didn't.
A lot of those guys, I've learned that once you just accept that's just who they are.
Yep.
And just move on. Yeah. Like I used to rail against Jim Skelton.
Neo-Cubist.
And Dirk for that matter. And Scuba Steve for that matter. Ultimately, kind of what changed my opinions on those guys is I called them out. I said it to their face about stuff. They were decent interactions. Okay. They're a douche. They're not for me. I'll move on.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharif, do you know if a Norseman will work with a little O-ring? I've never had one.
I was going to say, I don't think you need to do that, Neo. Oh, I was just going to suggest Vibratite.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I would just contact Grismo. Right?
Or I'll show you some Vibratite.
Or Neo, I'm sorry to say, you got the wrong knife, dude. Horse cock gun drop. A horse cock gun drop. It's you'll have to try to do something, but
I was going to say
that's just a knife that's always going to drop, man.
Sharif,
don't use super glue, please. Don't.
Does Skiff make washers the same size as those? Do you know?
As which?
The Norseman?
I don't know.
That might help. Other than that, the only other thing I can think of is that's just the way the Norseman's going to be, is because it's
I mean, I forget who had. Someone else had the exact same, and they ended up getting rid of it. They tried everything.
He's saying the screws backing out, not the action dropping.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, I was gonna say that's why you should contact them.
Yeah.
Because what probably happened is I'm almost 100% they make their hardware in house, and it may have overspec'd a little bit on the tolerances. So the
Which
gap
is not letting it grab the way it should.
Yeah, and that's why
here's an easy thing.
Isn't working.
Take video of it, contact them.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're a company that does, they're pretty reputable.
Yeah.
I've never had the balls to drop super glue in a pivot either.
Don't.
Dude, I think it's the stupidest idea, and really, like, Lefty is promoting it.
No,
Yeah.
That dude needs instant. He can't wait. He needs instant. Like, dude,
You can't give it 24 hours. That used to be what I used to watch was his disassembly videos where he'd lose a bearing and he'd put the whole fucking knife back together. I'd be screaming at the TV like everybody else.
We're also talking about the same person that used to put 4 layers of super glue on their fingernail because they couldn't just turn the knife sideways to shut it.
Yes.
And baking soda. He'd mix up a little concoction.
Dude, honestly, like, I need to do that with my freaking thumbnail. You can't see it, but like, I didn't realize that like I was dropping the edge of the Aurelias on my thumb so much because usually that never affects me. And then I noticed I was like, dude, I have like a hair of like nail left. Like I should probably stop while I'm ahead.
What you need to do is get some of the you've used clear skin. It's kind of like super glue, but it's medical grade.
Yeah.
Paint it thick on your nail, and they'll give you some extra kind of cush because it's softer than your nail would be.
Yeah.
And don't do that shit. Wrap it up.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, that's why I've been like wrapping my thumb in hockey tape.
Design a knife, they said.
Right. Dude, and it doesn't get better when you fucking snip the thumb stud on the kimono.
So now you got nothing done.
Yeah, so it just wants to drop straight to your nail.
And see, that's what I've actually grown to appreciate about a lot of flippers is it'll keep it from.
Yeah.
If you want that drop shutty, fidget factor, then but
I've got my Vibrotite somewhere, but I've had really good luck with this.
I've had that's my one and only.
The stick that's kind of like the glue. I just stick my little screw in there, get a little on the threads, and
what I've had a lot of good luck with too is Permatex Blue.
Yeah,
Permatex Blue works really well. And so for me, the blue is my go-to, the stick you just showed. And then if it's a little bit more finicky, I'll go with Permatex Blue. And if it really is a problem, then I go Vibrotite.
And Vibrotite's distributed by KPL, right?
No, Vibrotite's its own shit. Like,
I've got a little tube of that shit somewhere. I don't know where it came from.
I don't know
where it is either.
I used to use it.
This is probably 5 years old. Every once in a while, I got to take off the top
because it gets too hard.
But still,
yeah.
I don't
know. It smells good
much,
too.
I still have so much, but yeah, I bought this 5 years ago.
This is the best Amazon buy.
I will say for what's his name, Neo. What I would do too is if you want to test something to see. Witness mark it. So take your knife. Yeah. Once you get it tight to the action you like, just take a Sharpie.
Yep.
Mark on the side on both the pivot and the scale with a Sharpie. That'll come off with rubbing alcohol. Flip it a bunch of times and see if that line still matches up between the pivot and the handle. If it doesn't, then you know 100% that the actual threads are backing out.
Yep.
Great little tip, Kyle.
Yeah. Good night, Kathleen.
Night, Kathleen.
Hey, Kathleen. Good night.
Kathleen.
And
Yeah, just witness mark it so that way you can tell exactly what's going on, and then it'll.
Howdy, Luke.
What up, Luke?
It could be as simple as there's not enough threads on the screw.
Yeah, Neo, it's something that happens every so often. I've had it on a couple of knives. Like my whippersnapper, the threads are a little bit like that. Luckily for me, Permatex solved that issue, but like it happens every so often. You get like threads and screws that are just gapped out, like, you know, you've got the peak of the screw, and then you've got the threading on the female side, and sometimes that gap is just a little bit wider and it becomes a little offset, and that's when you don't get that good grip. You know, it really needs to be like centered and captured. So it happens. It's just manufacturing tolerances happen like that, you know. But
oh, thanks, Shane.
Yay! Oh, Shane's being nice. How you been doing, Kyle?
I've been good. I've been busy as heck, but I'm good.
Nice, man. Busy is a good thing.
Yes and no. Some of it's stuff that I just don't want to do, but springtime and doing yard work, and
okay.
Tired and laid down to take a little siesta this evening, and that turned into a full-on sleep.
that can be awesome and horrible.
Yep.
Oh, it's definitely. I'm gonna be up all night now.
I did today, in the midst of everything, I took like a 20-minute power nap. It was perfect.
I wish. I can't do that.
It was it was like 11. I had been up early. It was like 11:30. I was like, you know what? Just for a quick one, and laid down, set the timer for 20 minutes. And when I want to fall asleep, I'm one of the lucky people that I can fall asleep. Like,
yeah,
within a minute or two, I'm out. And woke up, perfect. Had my second cup of coffee and worked until.
I wish I could do power naps. I can't do those. If I lay down and take a nap, it's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Definitely go check out Loot.
But
I can do power naps if I'm like in a recliner. If I'm laying down, I go for a long time. But like in a recliner, for some reason, I'm easier to wake up.
Hey Lou, are you gonna make Atlanta again?
Oh yeah, Lou, dude, Javon, are you making Atlanta?
I'm gonna make it happen somehow, dude. I don't have my plans fully flushed out yet, but they will be there. I will be there.
Hey Javon, I want to say one thing real quick. I know this gentleman is a avid watcher, but doesn't comment much. But I'd like everyone just to welcome Andrew Lyons. He's a buddy who talks about sharpening behind the scenes with me a lot, and
hey, Andrew.
He watches the channel all the time, but just started commenting recently. So he's a good
welcome,
dude.
Andrew.
Good dude, and if anyone, he will definitely fit in with our community. So
heck yeah, welcome.
Thanks,
dude.
Kyle, and congratulations on you said KO3.
Yeah.
Dude, nice.
Well,
Nice.
you know what?
Nice meeting you, buddy.
You know what?
Out of car. I live the power nap.
Where is he?
Dude, speaking of, or going back onto Atlanta, my
welcome to the chat.
Oh heck yeah!
You, buddy.
Who hit him? I can't see. Someone hit him. Shane.
Got him.
What is he not got it? Let me check. Let me make sure. Let me put a.
It was me. I got him.
Well, then that makes sense.
I got him. Now you're fully.
You're official.
Indoctrined.
Neo Cubis, you're safe too.
Heck yeah.
Now you're welcomed.
You have been fully indoctrinated. Dude.
Got him.
It takes me hours to fall asleep, then hours to wake up, dude. I'll fall right asleep watching something on YouTube. I'll wake up 2 hours later. I do that 6 times a day.
Nice.
Doesn't work well when I'm driving around the state, but
Yeah, man.
I get my Z's in, that's for sure.
Yeah, I put on my thunder and rain, lightning storm background music, and I'm out literally like boom right away.
Yeah, that's a good skill to have, to be able to turn your mind off and let that white noise or rain, stuff like that helps.
For me, it's like
I just
YouTube
put the
or
satisfaction and slice
Hulu or
out.
something. And I'm the same like Stevie. It doesn't take me long if I'm
Hey.
proper tired.
You know what? It used to be for a
Get
good
her in.
15, 20 years.
Get 'em
I
in.
had like 3-4 different Nick Cage movies that I would put on. So
Yeah.
the beginning of The Rock, the beginning of Face Off, the beginning of what's the National Treasure.
Yeah,
I know the first 5 to 10 minutes of those,
And they just put you to sleep.
and I would be able to fall asleep, and then like I'd wake up and end up turning it off, but I would be right back out. But like those couple of movies, I know the first 10 minutes of them like perfectly.
There was one like that for me, Stevie. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was like a deep sea water rescue team with Costner and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, Deep something 6, Deep Star 6, or
I don't know,
I don't know.
They were
I've
out like
never heard
in
of
like
that one, though.
they were out in the like deep sea. They were like a what do you call it?
in little pods. They had a little city down there, right?
No, this
Okay.
was these guys were like the what's the water crew? I'm having a brain fart. Not the Navy, but what's the Coast Guard? They were like the Coast Guard operators that would go out in like the nasty waters and rescue. And they would jump from fucking helicopters and go down and try to rescue people.
The Guardian.
Yes, that's it.
Wow, that's an old one.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to fall asleep for something like that. But I can turn on a podcast, like what's his name? Theo Vaughn. I can turn on his podcast and boom, I'm out. Tim Dillon, I'm out.
Theo Vaughn's a nut, man. That guy's hilarious.
Dude, he's a trip, that's for sure.
Shane, I quit rubbing your belly when you started having things pop up.
The other one that I fall asleep to a lot as of recently is Don Shipley. You guys know Don Shipley?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I fall asleep to a lot of Don Shipley videos.
Dude, that dude was an absolute badass.
Yeah, and I mean, look, his son is also.
Oh yeah, DJ is as well, but DJ is not the same as
No.
Senior.
No, he's an original. You know? That's so funny. Don Shipley's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's.
You know the other old guy I like listening to is Stryker.
Oh yeah.
He's a cool cat.
Ooh,
This is
my
what I like to
neck
sleep
hurt.
to.
What the heck is that?
That's a
It's me about
parrot.
to get a copyright strike. Boom. Boom.
Oh,
That's a falcon fucking with a hawk. And the hawk's smart enough to turn its talons up towards it. It's chasing it off.
Yeah, but the thing is, that little blue falcon can hit speeds of 240 miles an hour.
It's the fastest thing in the world.
Yep. And if it hits you, it's like getting punched by something like a supersonic punch.
Yeah,
Like,
it shows them knocking stuff off on the ground.
yeah. Like, have you seen the videos of them taking out like ducks and birds on
Oh
the
yeah, that are like just like pelicans. They'll fly.
Yeah.
They'll come down. They hit them right on the neck too. It seems like, and they just fold and they look like they've been shot by a shotgun.
Yeah. Dude, they're sick. They're like those little have you seen those little lobsters or shrimp that have the
mantis shrimp, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Have y'all seen those? Let me pull one of those up.
Dude, there's a guy on...
Why is your impression so good?
There's some dude on TikTok or Instagram who has one as a pet.
Yeah, and it's like drops.
Yeah, he's got to be real careful about putting his hand in, because if it hits you, it'll like literally shatter bones.
They can break the glass of the aquarium. They say
I
it's like this.
always feel so bad. They'll drop crabs down in there.
Here's a crab that just got dropped down there.
They'll mess with it for a second and then just
boom. Yeah, dude, they're so.
That's glass. You see it shatter that glass?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they'll put crabs down there and they'll knock off their claws one at a time.
Freaking Mike Tyson's of the ocean. Holy shit.
You see that heat?
Yeah.
They can make a flash of heat when they hit so hard. Yeah, I'm not digging mantis shrimp, because you imagine like if you were down diving and they hit your mask. And they just started gang thumping you.
Get like 10 of them on you.
I'll take my luck with the shark. Did you see the shark eating the guy earlier in Egypt?
No.
Yeah, I'll show it again.
No.
Sharks can go on sand?
Dude, there's a sea over there, and they arrested. There was a hold on.
Desert shark. The old desert shark.
Egypt.
Sharknado.
What's scary about this is it looks like a river.
Oh, that can happen. There are some sharks that like can travel into
bull sharks.
This was a tiger, they say, because they were, or maybe it was a bull, because there's a boat that you can see in the background that was dumping goat parts, which is never a good thing.
Oh, then they're just trying to attract them.
I don't want to. No.
Don't want.
You're not going to see much. He just went under for a second. Where it gets creepy is he goes upside down.
Oh, well, great. No, you're not going to see nothing. But
you're not going to see blood or nothing. I'm going to cut it before.
Oh, damn.
You're not going to. Yeah, that's a guy getting murdered.
Not getting murdered. He's
getting a shark.
Eaten. That's why you stay on the beach.
That shark is murdering him.
He's eating him because he thinks he's a sheep.
Well, yes.
I wouldn't eat sheep in that area. They're tainted.
It doesn't show anything except for him.
Well, it just showed him kind of getting manipulated unnaturally, I guess is right. Hey, it could be Shane spinning a dwarf on his hip. Could be worse.
All day long, man.
Shane was just trying to help poor James learn to break dance.
I saw that on, I forget if it was Joe Rogan and Shane Gillis and all of them were reacting to it.
I can't.
I don't know. Like,
sharks are legitimately
terrifying.
Very terrifying.
Yeah. There was a time in my life where I was gonna go like like cage diving because I was so in love with and like really dug sharks. And then the older I got, the more I'm like, yeah, no. Like there's too many YouTube videos of them like breaking into those cages. Like
there's way too much shit in the ocean that we don't know about that I don't ever want to be part of.
Yeah.
All right.
The ocean is terrified, Andrew. I totally agree.
Yep.
So
absolutely
100%. And to this day, the freakiest thing I've ever done in my life is out in the San Juans. And that's when you're getting northwest up into Canadian waters. In the Puget Sound, you're full out in the Pacific Ocean at that point. And we used to go deep sea fishing out there as a kid, and you would get to the point where you couldn't see land anymore. That's how far out you are.
Yeah.
And diving off of the back of the boat then and swimming in the ocean then, that's and I've heard this joke before, but like legit something touched my foot, like a piece of kelp or something.
Yeah.
And I was like 8 years old.
Never
I thought
again.
for sure I was being murdered at that
oh
point.
yeah.
But then the crazy thing is,
Why did you jump off? Was it just hot?
I mean, it was summertime, and the other kids were doing it too, and I couldn't be
That's
a bitch.
bad.
So
Didn't you see Jaws as a kid? I mean,
yeah, but it's Puget Sound. It's not the shark that you got to be worried about. It's the 5 minutes after we got out, the pot of orca whales that were swimming through. You know,
Oh, orcas are assholes, man.
It'll just tail whip you and just throw your body up until they just beat you to death.
But
Maybe.
swimming when you're that far out in the middle of the ocean is effing terrifying.
Yeah, dude, I've been on
y'all go
dry-
bunkering for sharks? Is that what you call it when you go down and you grab a shark by its jaws and pull it out?
Oh, that's called
noodling. That's right.
Noodling.
Yeah.
It's called fucking stupid.
I can see Shane and Meathead noodling.
I still to this day have an irrational fear of water. Like I won't get in water if I can't see the bottom.
It's not irrational. What's irrational about that? I think that's a very irrational
because a lot of people. I did it for years, and a lot of people still do it. But I just don't like not knowing. My fear is more of the unknown than actually being in there with it.
The older I've gotten, the more I start to feel like that. Actually,
Yeah.
You can
But
step on glass.
here's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I had a pool for years in my backyard, and I still wouldn't get in the pool at nighttime.
okay, that one's all right.
That's
If
a
we
little
can-
on the strange side, unless you had like little alligators coming in there at night.
Kyle, I can still back that because like when I was a kid, I was so into sharks and my
Can you back it as a man in his 40s?
I had like such a creative imagination. I'd be in pools and I'd like think of scenarios of sharks being in the pools, and it would like freak me out to the point where I'd need to like get out.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I
Just
know
being
that
surrounded
there's
by
nothing
water is
there. I
creepy.
just don't
Yeah.
like the feeling of it.
I did too. It was just one of those things where like you can build something up, you know.
Kyle's like, nah, man, I'm just a wuss.
I mean, I just don't.
Hey,
like the
we used to
feeling.
have
Yeah.
in Cocoa Beach, Florida. I can remember swimming at night. There was one light. We had a kidney-shaped concrete pool. My granddad did, and there was one light in the deep end. And the deep end wasn't that deep. There wasn't a diving board. Just a little kidney-shaped in-ground pool. But fucking iguanas would be getting there. So like you'd be in there and you'd see like a iguana about this long swimming in that motherfucker. You know, you see a shadow from the bottom with your mask on. You'd be like, "Holy shit, was that a gator?"
Aren't iguanas like an invasive species?
Very
So-
much so. Yes, they're not natural here.
Yeah.
You can shoot them all you want down south.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video with what's her name, Heather Lynn and
Alexandra.
yeah,
Yep.
Alexandra.
They go hunting
went
with them
out.
all the time.
I like watching the dude that goes out in the Everglades and catches pythons and anacondas and
Oh, hell no.
relocates them. That's crazy shit, man. Because their water moccasins out there. They're fucking. He comes across satanic temples and shit.
What up, Demon Dog?
All right, so one of the things that is freaking crazy is like I used to travel in the winters. So we used to basically drive down after the first of the year, and I would travel for about 2 to 3 months playing in tournaments and stuff. And we would stop at some places that, you know, some members' houses that we knew that would have, you know, nice setups, and we'd just stay there and play and whatever else. Well, we used to always winter in Kiowa Island, and absolutely gorgeous. But one night we're sitting out there, and because there's gators and shit in South Carolina, but we were sitting out there in on the back deck. Everyone was drinking and smoking cigars, and it was late. And all of a sudden we heard this, you know, rattling, and out through, because the back of the woods backed up to like the 7th hole or whatever else, and here comes this deer just walking through the backyard. And we're like, okay. And then the guy who owned the house was like, I hope he doesn't go down by the lake.
Oh
There's
no.
there's a gator that lives in there. In that
Oh
lake.
no!
Well, and so all of a sudden this deer starts trotting down towards the backyard, towards the lake, and the guy's like, no, like yells at it. Well, it takes off running towards the lake, and all of a sudden you just hear and like a little bit of yelping, and then just like crunching of bones.
Oh god, dude! Alligators are the worst. I guess crocodiles are really the worst, but
Dude, they're dinosaurs. They're
No doubt.
literal freaking dinosaurs.
But to actually hear it eat something live is just
That's
wild.
Oh, dude, I've heard it a bunch of times because, like, down in Florida, there's a place called Gatorland, and they do like feedings and stuff like that. And hearing those like jaws just like snap on bones is like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's
If y'all know Gatorland,
Here you go. If I'm gonna get
been
flagged,
to one in Florida, but I don't know if it was called Gatorland.
this
Dude.
is good shit right here.
Kyle, did you, when you walked in, was it through the head of a gator?
Yeah, it was near St. Augustine.
Yeah, like Orlando, Kissimmee, like that.
St. Augustine's on the coast.
Okay, then maybe it's not the main Gatorland.
Meow.
You know, Satisfaction goes to Gatorland, but you take out the tour. He just
I love when the when the gators jump out of the
Birds are dinosaurs too.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah, first off,
birds are fake.
Second of all, there's a big difference between a bird and a freaking Nile crocodile that's
Did you see that?
50 feet long.
I wish I could make that bigger. Did y'all see him jump? Let me back it up.
Yeah, that video's
He's in the water. He's under the water. Watch this shit. Yeah.
Granted, it's just a caiman that he's pulling out, but
Crocodile is what it says on the
snakes, spiders, and chomos all put on an island and nuke it.
That's a big caiman, but it is smaller than the jaguar. Look at those muscles, man.
Cod.
I've seen several.
I've seen a video like something similar online before, but when I was a kid, went to the Seattle Zoo, the Woodland Park Zoo, and one of the bears exhibit like you walk through and like there's water and you can see them underwater and everything. Some ducks had landed in their little pond, and the bear was swimming, and just out of the blue grabbed one of the ducks and like pulled it under, like ripped it apart, and all the kids were like, "Oh my god!"
Nature doesn't stop for zoo tours, man.
What's hilarious is they make Coca-Cola made polar bears look all cute and cuddly and stuff, and they're one of the most vicious animals on the planet.
Absolutely. I think we've all probably seen the video of that guy that gets in like that clear cube. It's like, like made out of like super like ballistic plexiglass or something. So, but the polar bear that gets in there is just trying to
tear him to pieces. He's got some great pictures for that.
Not enough money in the world.
I love what Joe Rogan's commentary on it. People are like, "Oh, he just wants to see what's going on." Joe Rogan's
no, he
like,
wants to eat him. He's hungry.
He smells food and he wants to eat. You know,
Andrew. Yes, if you think of an animal that can chomp through freaking bamboo with their teeth,
yeah, that's the thing, man.
All like, bears, they're cute and they're awesome, but man, bears are cunts, man. They literally bears and like chimps and apes.
Yeah,
they're not like cats or like canines. They don't kill their prey. They just start chomping on you, man.
Yep.
The speaking of which, the other one that surprisingly,
like what people don't understand with animals is like, yes, like pound for pound, for example, like a dog weighs less than you, but they don't have fine motor control. So all of their muscle development goes into their big like primary muscles. And so like you could have a dog that weighs 75 pounds that will literally just destroy a 300-pound man because it's all just primary muscle.
Yeah, when I wrestle my dog, it is an absolute workout. And
this is terrifying shit right here.
Oh, hippos are the number one thing that scare the crap out of me, man. They're so vicious.
They are so vicious.
Yeah, more people get killed in the bush by a hippo
than anything else.
But I don't think that's real.
Oh, let's go hippos, and I think it was elephants. that I saw that was kind
Hippos
of
are
brutal.
pretty much the king of the water.
Yeah. They're like they kill more people than I think most animals.
You remember that guy that was doing a documentary? He was trying to live with the hippos, and then eventually ended up killing them. Like, no shit. That's what happens with all these people that try to domesticate or live with these wild animals.
Yeah, that's not
really
smart.
What I know about it was a bear man.
Well, there's that one, and
that's the only one that I knew. I didn't know someone lived with hippos.
Yeah, he like tried to domesticate it and was out there living in I can't remember exactly where it was, but was out there living with them. That, of course,
I do know that.
I don't want to hear about that, Andrew. No,
there was a dude that lived with a hyena for years, like raised it as a baby.
Oh yeah.
But then got murdered by his hyena.
Yeah.
And like I guess he had like sprained his ankle or something, and he was like walking with a limp. And the best friend hyena just sensed that he was weak and just boom took him out.
Oh, he's lame. Got to put him down.
Yep.
Yeah. Like there's.
But that was no laughing stock though.
Andrew, I'm not. Some I can handle, but those things are just. I'd rather subject myself to many other things in this world than those.
So I've never told this on the live before.
Are you?
I have a very high hatred towards spiders, just like Cole.
Well, you just fucked up. You shouldn't have said.
You shouldn't have said that.
But here's the actual story gets wild. One night I was walking into my bedroom. This was about 15 years ago, and I went to lay down, and I look over because I had the lights are off, and I went to lay down in bed, and about 2 feet above my pillow was one of those giant ass what do you call those things? The
wolf spiders or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was the wolf ones. Yeah, that's the ones you can put out the crab apples and they go away.
Oh yeah.
So
don't feed the spiders.
So it was chilling above my pillow. Well, natural reaction. First thing I did was I grabbed right off my nightstand and grabbed my piece and just blew a hole in it. Well, luckily, I wasn't thinking it was nighttime, but luckily it didn't go through because there was another room and whatever. But I had some drywall patching I had to do.
So my little sister, growing up, had an absolute fear of spiders, like deathly scared. And so the only way I would ever try to get back at her for something is I would go catch spiders.
Oh, that's cold-blooded, dude.
Yes.
That's crossing the line.
That's harsh.
I did not realize how much I intensified. She told me about one day, and this is years ago. That's not something I let her know about until I found out that she was like, I think I made a breakthrough in therapy this week. I shouldn't be telling my sister.
you evil son of a bitch.
But my sister was going to therapy, and that was apparently one of the things she was working on. And I was like, yeah, I might have. She was like, I hated spiders, and they would always show up in my room. No other house, no other room in the house would ever have spiders. They always end up in my room.
And she didn't know it was from you?
No. It's not a conversation we ever had. Like, oh yeah, sis, by the way, until we were adults now. And she told me she was working on it was like after she got divorced and stuff, and she was going through a lot of shit. She was working through stuff in therapy, and apparently her phobia was that real. It came up in therapy, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
See you in hell, Stevie.
Hey, yeah, no doubt. Spiders are terrifying, dude, to some people. To me, I'll take a snake over a spider any day. It's irrational. I realize that.
Dude, yeah, but my sister was evil. She used to like fuck up my comic books and stuff. Like if my sister wanted to get like was pissed off at me or something, she'd go and find like a baseball card or something, and be like, "Ha ha."
No, you know what,
Something's wrong with you, Shane.
dude? You know, like
Big boobs and my sister have to do with things.
I've had a cousin of like Rocky Mountain spotted fever because of spider bites. Yeah, dude. Like friggin' spiders can be bastards. But you know, if I see them in my house or like in my garage or stuff like that, I don't get rid of them because they're usually catching some other bugs.
Well, that's yeah.
That's
Yeah.
part of the ecosystem, and I get that, but
Yeah.
I will absolutely destroy one if I see it. But
Yeah.
we started putting out crab apples around the outside of your house, and it eliminates so many of them coming in. It's amazing.
Really?
You know, they are. I know what you're saying now. I never really correlated it, but so we do have pest. We hire a pest control guy to come around every once in a while, and I told him that I wanted to take out my crabapple tree, and he said, "No, you should keep that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
It keeps
He didn't-
away insects, I think.
He
It
didn't really.
repels them. Yeah.
He didn't really go
the-
into why, but I did get one caterpillar nest out of the blue up there, and I was like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about taking out that tree anyway." He's like, "No, I'd leave it." He's like, "It's probably for the best," and I was like, "Yeah, okay." Didn't think much of that though, but now that I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely, I don't know if the smell they give
Like
off or
that.
something,
If I've
but
been bitten by
definitely-
brown recluses are what we've got to worry about here. Ugh.
Yeah, no thank you.
Andrew, yeah, he's our clown jester, or he's
Yeah,
our
it's
court jester.
Shane's afraid of big boos. I don't know why. He must have had a traumatic experience in one of his old places.
Yeah,
In the champagne room.
He was almost smothered by him.
Yeah, must have been a
No,
near-
he goes off on Melissa Backwoods, and I find her attractive.
You would.
I think Melissa Backwoods is dope as hell.
She is dope. She's legit. I mean, she's
Just
lived out.
don't, it's hard, Gary.
Not legit, Javon. That show is scripted.
I realize that, but for her to be scripted out there in the woods, from what I see, that's enough to just be like, I'm out of here. I'm not a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Gary, the Last Ranger, pointed out that she's got 80-year-old grandpa hands.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
can't see that now.
Yeah,
Let's
it's hard
see.
not to see that.
She has the manest man hands like I've ever seen. Beautiful lady, unfortunate hands.
It's funny, like
that
Gary's
makes me
complaining
think
about
of-
anything.
Yeah.
The only Hanks I like Mad Yako, but I will go to Hank's Cartel. Let's see what's going on over there.
That's just because you're a creep.
Dude, I'm just telling you. Say what you will, but Michael Ziva finds the best models anywhere. And I don't care if she's a cutie pop.
Man,
Oh,
I gotta say, I stepped out on my homie Forrest for a brief second in the Hank world. I forget who the maker is, but when I was down at the show,
She's all right.
Lynch gave me one of their Hanks, and it's really cool. It's really good, man. I think he said the lady's out of Quebec. It's
Oh,
a
nice.
Canadian maker. She did just like a little limited run for them, and it's a dope Hank.
Have y'all seen let me see if I can find her. Brenda Silverlips. Have y'all seen the work she does? She's a silversmith.
No,
Let me see if I can find her. Here she is.
Which
Kyle,
setter?
don't judge.
Which setter silver?
She makes stuff. Hold on.
Javon saying a preemptive don't
makes
judge.
Don't judge. Hold on. Let me get to her work.
Yeah, she makes dudes get boners.
I was gonna say I ain't seen a single thing of
Wait,
silver.
Here, that's her work.
No, go back up.
She works at a boner factory.
Brenda Silverlips.
No, Javon, go back up to the one.
The one with the
No,
big
Stop. Or one more. Right there. The red.
No,
Nope.
to the left,
no.
Javon.
Oh, that one?
Yeah. Okay.
There's another one, the Blade Bride.
No, there's the questionable. I was looking at the neck.
You don't think she's real?
That's a man, baby.
If it looked close at first.
Where's my Blade Bride?
Kyle, I ain't getting fooled again, motherfuckers. I've fallen for that shit too many times.
I spell that. Let's see.
Well, I ain't paying for it again.
Fool me once, shame on you.
You know, that's the guy. There's Scotch making one of his overground pools. I think she's still one of the hottest ever.
Who is she?
Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't
British
have-
actress chick.
Yep.
She got to be in her 60s. Hey, look.
Oh, look at that.
0640 gang.
That's a nice knife. I reviewed that.
Dude.
Hey, wasn't there a surge drop tonight?
There was, but I'm not a fan of Nebula Fat Carbon, so I'm gonna wait.
Is that
Yeah,
which one's got that?
Oh, that's the bug out mod scale kits that Lynch just released.
Very nice.
Titanium scales.
They're really upping their game.
Yes, they are.
Kyle.
Yep.
I didn't film it because I just ended up not filming anything. But I said, can I film? And I will probably eventually. I asked Casey and I asked Thomas, I said, when are the Manic scales coming out? And they're like, they are coming. And I said, okay, I need you to get you guys on camera actually saying that, though. I was like, I know someone that is just dying to get some.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to him, he's like, can you please ask him about the Manic scales?
Yeah, my money is burning a hole in my pocket trying to get those.
Oh, those
I
are
wish
still
you guys
available.
had Medfords and that should have pull with Casey, because I reached out to him and said, man, if you'd make a clip for this Slim MIDI, it would also fit the infraction. So many people would love it. He goes, man, if I had time, there's so many things we're working on.
Yeah. Wow, the Slip 5 didn't sell out. It's still available.
Yeah.
The Surge?
Yeah, if that was a different material.
Exactly. That's the reason why all of that stuff is still in stock.
Yeah, that's not a. I think he.
It's like someone doesn't want a wrench. Nothing. Never mind.
One designer chick.
Cheeto. Okay, I'll say it here. I told Shane earlier, and I just completely forgot to say something. In regards to that Cheeto. No, okay, I'll tell you behind the scenes.
Stevie, are you familiar with Dynavap?
No, what is that?
That is a little induction vaporizer. Dry herb vaporizer. You heat it till it clicks, and then you get vapor, not combustion. You can dump it out and you can put it in Nutella and eat it.
But you got to torch it first?
Well, they also make an induction heater. Yes, you got to torch it to get the oven hot, right? It's because you're just heating it up till it clicks, and then it's just at a temperature where you're vaporizing the dry herb, whatever it is.
Huh.
And they also make an induction heater. So if you use it at home like I do, this thing plugs in, and you just stick it in this little circular hole, and it heats it up till it clicks, and you pull it out.
I've seen that one's interesting though.
Yeah, the Dynavap, they even make one now that's got a big. Let me go to. I was out of the game for a good 4.5 years when I first got into sobriety, and when I came back, my buddy introduced me to vaporizing as opposed to. So that's an induction heater there. But
Okay, this was just a squirrel moment, apparently.
This is a squirrel moment. I was just going to show. I was trying to find the one to show.
Hey, you know what? All of Surge's knives are available right now.
Yep.
How much are they?
135 to 140.
Are you on his site?
Yeah, the Slip 4 is. I didn't realize was still available. I can't get it though.
Yeah, you can. You just got. You're having a killer quarter, dude.
I wish it was an M390 though.
Right?
I mean, it's fine, but why? Why of all things that are out there now, why M390?
Which one are you looking at?
Agreed.
The Slip 4.
Slip 4, carbon fiber.
Yeah,
I like that blade.
I've always liked that one, but I mean,
Very
again,
reasonably priced.
Hey, Javon, get rid of the comment.
Hold on. Uh-oh.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, they're phenomenal size. It's one of my most used slip joints.
I know it's different, but for that in that realm, I think I'd rather have the ABW.
Yeah, they're
different, but
I like that Slip 5.
I want this. I just don't want it in this finish.
One, I agree, Kyle. But there is something about Surge's knives that are just.
I agree. I like his design language. He makes good stuff, but
But yes,
for the price point, the difference, I'd rather have the materials of the ABW.
Yeah,
handmade here.
That's the only one I've got.
He made one. I can't remember the name. What was the Triad or the one that was the kind of funky looking one?
With Surge, that's like most.
I know it's all of them. I'm saying, but it was a frame lock. It was a bigger one.
Do it, Stevie.
The Trisect.
Yes, I like that one.
Ooh, Quiet Carry. The West is a nice slip joint.
Didn't he do a custom version of the Trisect also?
Anything that he's done production, he's usually done a custom of.
Yeah, that one was cool.
But Stevie just
I kind of got out of the whole the slippy fixation. Thank goodness, I fell into it for a little while. After I got 2 Jack Wolfson, a couple of GECs, amongst a whole bunch of other ones.
Dude,
cooled my jets.
I settled in with GEC and Surges, man. They're my go-to.
I can proudly say I don't own one slip joint.
The only Surge I have is that razor knife.
Cole, I think that it would be awesome if he gave a put like a filler tab in there to where you could put a clip on it if you wanted to. I think
See, I'm just the opposite on a slip joint. I think it needs to be in a nice slip.
Yeah,
but I realize the clip's functional.
This could also very easily just go right into any fifth pocket, right?
Oh yes, a Purvis chick. Thank you, Edgy. Let's give Edgy some mana real quick. He doesn't want it, but he's gonna get it.
I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather have.
He's very good looking, and he always seems strung out. Nothing against him.
Who, Shane? I know.
No, the Purvis guy when he does his videos on
Adam Purvis.
Oh, yeah, not Shane.
No, he's a former firefighter, so I'm sure he's just
hopped up on meth. You know those firefighters.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
As long as it's clean meth.
Hashtag DOTD.
Shane, that's her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she's a little doll baby. And he looks tweaked out, but that's
he
just
looks
me.
tired.
That
maybe
looks
looks like
tired.
a guy that's working fucking 20-hour
Let's get
days.
back to what's important. Appreciate his service. Pretty knife. Now, didn't he quit? I thought he quit making knives and he was just going to do clips.
He did, but he's doing some production stuff. Like he's doing
nothing about it.
Yes, Adam Purvis blades.
He's
the only knife I know of from him is the one that had like the speed holes in it. Is it the Xerxes or something?
Yeah, the
Xerxes. Yeah. And that's only because that's like one of the very first videos I ever saw from Maddie.
And then there was the Rook, and then there was the Primordial.
Yep, and the Progeny.
Yep.
Yeah, he's done a few.
Yeah, I like the look of his blades.
Are these customs that he's doing?
No,
I don't think so.
No, they're all OEM'd.
Okay, so
that's a Primordial button lock there.
It's just clips that he makes.
So
he
custom
fancy clips,
like premium clips, like
and scales too, right? I'm on this service. Let me go back to him. I jumped over.
So he's got some manufacturing skills.
Yeah. No, he just has some tooling and he likes making clips for fun. And then he does the knife design and does the OEMing just as like a thing for him for fun.
But he makes those, right?
Yeah, he does, but not like regularly,
Javon, you got another dinger.
He'll just make a few and then announce a drop.
Dude, Andrew, thank you, brother.
So
shout out.
Appreciate
Andrew.
it, man. Let me give you a man hug. Thanks for hanging around the lives. Thanks for chatting, and thanks for a super chat, brother.
Let me punish you for giving me money.
Thanks for putting up with Javon.
Yeah, no doubt. I run a lot of people off. I answer a lot of DMs usually after lives. I always say stupid shit.
Who are you fitting that are emailing Javon after a live stream?
Yeah, seriously.
It comes with goodwill, and it's someone who I respect, and it's not a male, and it's usually not complaining about me.
No, I'm kidding, by the way.
And you still let me on?
No, it's not complaining about you, buddy. No, you bring the we need to come up with something to talk about Friday, sharpening wise. I thought of a trade for you, Kyle, for this blue Medford, but I haven't made myself able to offer it to you yet.
Dude, the nice thing sometimes about making your own knives, like at least like what I do, OEMing them, when you got spare parts around, you can swap things out. And dude, I swapped the detent out on my main like abused knife, and it just pops so much harder now.
And you know how to build a knife.
Yeah, dude. Ooh. So nice. I've been meaning to do that for a little while. I was starting to get a little bit of detent lash, actually. I've used and abused that knife.
Kyle, is that the one you like?
That's S35 though, right?
Yeah, it's S35. It's not the only S90 I've got. It's my Slim Midi.
Yeah, see, I don't like that one. I don't like the black blade.
Guess what? This one's not available.
That's fine.
Well, fellers, I am gonna hop off here.
It's night time anyway, guys.
It is night time
for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've got to make a video for tomorrow.
Oh, goodness gracious!
I do it every night late.
Well, appreciate you letting me hop on for a little bit with you fellers.
Yeah. Dude, you're always welcome. And tell Maddie he's always got a link in there too. I know he's got family stuff.
Tell himself, I ain't that. He's my Robin.
You like that when I called him that the other night?
Yeah.
I was hoping he didn't take it as a another way.
No, I'm sure he won't. Look, Maddie's a bitch, and he knows he's the beta of the two of us. So
He comes by it honestly.
Well, I mean, he is married, so that kind of takes away part of the Robin aspect.
yeah, but Maddie knows you a bitch. Yeah, congrats on all the Aurelias getting out there. I did see your newsletter today, so gonna be dropping some soon.
Yes, sir.
And Kyle, I'm sorry you took such a long nap. You'll be up forever. I didn't get a chance to say, Javon, sorry about your loss, brother.
Oh, hey man, it's like I said, we all just have to enjoy the time we're here, right?
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware, but I'm sorry, Javon.
Oh, dude,
I
said
it first though, before Kyle.
It's all good.
But
my condolences on something I don't know about. So there's Stevie.
Yeah. All right. I will talk to all you mofos later, though.
Hey guys, look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. I love you all. Sharif, Kyle, peace out.
Peace.
Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO.